Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I love it.
My name's Jay Milne. Hashtag Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today. You know what, Reid? You might be on to something.
All right, here's what's going on in the nest. Must you click? All right, the Edmonton Oilers get a hot prospect, Hobey Baker winner Ike Howard. You're going to hear from him over the course of the show today. Edmonton Elks getting ready to play the British Columbia Lions on Sunday at about 20 after 5 this afternoon. Offensive coordinator Jordan Maximic will be on the show. We're going to visit with our good buddy Drew Remenda as well. The Blue Jays winning streak unfortunately comes to an end. The White Sox just beat them 2-1, but we will have some, I think, pretty fun Blue Jay discussions over the course of the afternoon. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins, and we are your emotional support animals. How's it going, buddy?
Good. What animal would you be if you were someone's emotional support animal?
Well, I'd be a dog. I'd be traditional.
You would?
Yeah, I'd probably be. I guess with dog, you have to say the breed.
Yeah.
I'd probably be maybe a beagle. I think I'd make a good beagle.
That's a good answer.
Do beagles work as emotional support animals? I don't know.
Sure.
I guess there's a difference between an emotional support animal and a helper dog.
Oh, like
helper dogs are usually larger, are they not?
Like somebody that's helping, say, a blind or
a blind
a deaf person
or someone who might have mobility issues or something like that.
I guess
when you see those dogs, you usually see them being larger.
Well, yeah, because they need to be able to direct them.
But just emotional support.
Emotional, you can be whatever you want.
You can be whatever you want, yeah.
I think a beagle, I don't know, maybe a miniature pincher would suit
That's what you would. Oh, thanks.
Yeah. What?
Well, they're funny looking little demon dogs.
They're very proud looking dogs.
I guess.
I'd probably be, if I had to choose one animal, a koala.
You're just somebody's pushing you in a big cart around Kingsway.
They're cute and cuddly.
Excuse me, the koala can't come in here. Actually, he's my emotional support koala.
They're cute.
Oh, in that case.
They're cuddly, and they can climb trees. I like to climb trees.
Yeah, I guess that could fit the bill.
You know, they got a nice little cute button nose.
Anyway, we're here for you is what I'm trying to say. Good to have you tuning in this afternoon. Of course, we did not have a show yesterday. We had a little bit of a different but very fun day here at Edmonton Sports Talk. So Dustin and Eric did the Nielsen show. I had a brief appearance on that from 6 to 8 yesterday. And then we had our second annual, first one I've been a part of, Edmonton Sports Talk Golf Classic at the ranch, thanks to Murray McCourt and his incredible staff there. The course is in phenomenal condition. It's a very good golf course. I think it'd be a good test for any level of golfer. Everybody wants to say, how are the greens? Greens are in great shape. Now, that may or may not help your putting. That's still up to you.
Yes.
But the course is in great shape. And they're so polished there with putting on a tournament. I mean, go put your clubs in the cart. Carts are in numbered order. My name's on the cart. There's my cart. When are we going out? You got to go out at this time. Follow everybody out. Stop on your hole. It's a smart course. And I will say this. It's a smart course with where the washrooms are. Right?
Good point.
Because there's that one hole that's like a junction of 3 holes, and there's a washroom there, and then obviously you can go at the turn as well. So that just works out really well. And then the meal afterwards was phenomenal. You know, the steak, the salads, the vegetables, the potatoes, the garlic bread. Great stuff. Our own Matthew Awanek, our chief operating officer. I know we bug this guy a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we call him persnickety, but he is the most detailed and organized person I know. He takes a lot of pride in what he does. He doesn't ask for a lot of help. Sometimes my only complaint would be we're here to help you, buddy. But he's so organized and meticulous. So he was a big part of why it was such a fun day. Now, for us, I was put with Bronco Nick, who's a regular, and I had met before. He's a regular in the Nasty Chat, always sends us in a limerick. I was with the Wolf. That's his moniker from the Nasty Chat, and the Wolf's dad.
And Mr. Wolf.
Mr. Wolf. I think I was calling him Papa Wolf. It may have bothered them. I kept calling him Papa Wolf. I didn't really make an effort to learn their names. And then he's the Wolf. That's who he is. And then the Wolf's colleague Sean was there as well. So we had a great time. Were we great golfers? We were not. I think we did fit. I believe we've birdied the 4 par 5s. And actually, the one good shot I made, I probably made about a 15 to 20 foot birdie putt.
Did you?
On hole number 1, which was our 16th hole. Now, the one thing we did, so you can buy mulligans right now. As I don't know, well, I guess I could have bought mulligans, but I didn't even think of it. So we had like 16 mulligans, and we kept forgetting to use them. Okay.
Oh no.
So on our 18th hole, which was the 3rd hole of the course, we had Bronco Nick hit a pretty good approach shot. We probably had a 12-footer for birdie. All 5 of us putt. We all miss. We had 10 mulligans left. So we all putted again twice each, and we all missed. So we missed 15 putts from the exact same spot. So we used up all our mulligans. But that's how it is. Like some tournaments, they'll give you a piece of string, where you can, it's basically expanding the size of the hole. And then you cut off the string, and you don't have to finish putting out.
I prefer less of the gimmicky stuff.
The mulligans are fine.
Give me mulligans, and you know them, you can take them. What percentage though? What percentage? Maybe you could do like an over/under for Play Alberta on this or something. What percentage of foursomes? Let's say it's a full tournament.
So 36.
So 36 foursomes. What percentage
we had
of them
some fivesomes? We'll just go.
Actually honor the amount of mulligans that they have?
I would hope they all would.
You're dreaming.
Yeah, I know.
You know that. I would say 65% would honor it. Would that be a fair number?
Yeah, we'll actually keep track or be within 1. I mean, maybe if they had 12, they used 13 and lost track. Yeah.
Well, the Play Alberta guys certainly did.
Oh, you were with the Play Alberta guys.
Yeah.
Well, they have to follow the rules.
It's like, I'm just going to take this putt for fun. Like, no, it's going to be a mulligan. We can't, because their thing was, if we win this, we can't win it and know that we've cheated somehow, some way.
Right.
So like they were to the T.
So what was, and again, like our score was -5. The winning score was -18. What were you guys?
10 under.
10 under. So pretty good.
10 under, and we finished with a fury. We finished with 5 birdies in a row.
And did you guys have mulligans?
We left 6 on the table.
Oh, you still left 6 on the table. Okay.
Because we finished so well.
And you don't think, and here's the one thing about mulligans, you always think of using them on putts, but I wonder now if you should use them more on chips or on approach shots or even tee shots on pars. Because we had a couple par 3s where our best ball was on the fringe.
Yeah.
And I wonder if somebody who, because there was one par 3, I hit it pin high, but I was about 15 feet right of the green. Like, should have I said, you know what, I'll take a mulligan. That's the right club. I just need to hit it a little more purely.
Just aim better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's not used enough. The mulligan off the green.
Yes.
From an approach shot.
Yeah, or like a 40-yard pitch chip on or some pitch on or whatever.
You got to put that within 10 feet.
Yeah.
You got to make it
you'd like to. But
you got
how many people do?
Penner's Pancake says, that Tarnasky fight is a beauty. We were just talking about it. Weren't we?
Yeah, so where did this come from?
Bang! Somewhere. Like, he had to be in Canada. Because those guys, like, that looked perfectly suitable for a Saskatchewan golf course. I have no idea where this was. But
so he's from Rocky Mountain House.
Okay, so maybe it's in Alberta.
So he's 40 now. How many NHL games did he play? 245, 297 PIMs. Toronto Sun, ex-NHL enforcer, under investigation after hockey fight at golf. Because Jasmine sent me this just moments before the show. And as you know, and probably our audience has picked up on this, I'm not a huge let's scour social media for weird story ideas to talk about. So sometimes I miss stuff that everybody's talking about it just because I'm different, or maybe I just don't care enough.
Hole 15 at Alberta Springs, says Old Gill.
That's not far away from...
That's Sylvan Lake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, here it is. Alberta golf course. They say in Red Deer in this Toronto Sun article, but so
what's there to investigate? They were drunk. They couldn't even stand up straight.
Right.
Apparently, they were slowing the pace of play quite aggressively. One can deal with, okay, we're 5-10 minutes behind, but apparently this was like 25 some minutes behind. And they confronted them and said, look, you guys aren't even teeing off. You're just standing over your ball and talking. You're not even trying. And then it was seemingly not going anywhere. And then the guy on the tee box started challenging this hockey player. And the hockey player's buddies were, you don't want to do this.
Right.
Don't do this. And then the rest was history. I mean, he got thrown in a lake, Reid. Well, I wouldn't say it would be a lake.
Well, then he got the water hazard, but then he got taken out of the water hazard and then got punched some more.
He came out of the water hazard like an alligator.
Yeah.
I would say it was more of a mash.
Yeah, I don't know, Tarnowski. I don't know if he'd been under the influence of anything at the time as well, but the guys who play hockey, especially in the NHL, if you fought in the NHL, I mean, they know they could kill somebody. They don't want to get in a confrontation, right? Like I remember, I don't know how much this name will mean to people, but I knew this gentleman in Lloydminster, Skip Craik. He played in the World Hockey Association and in the NHL a little bit as well. And I remember him telling me that when he retired, he went back to Lloyd and played men's league. And he said, I had to stop because guys are like, I'm going to fight the guy that played in the NHL. And he goes, I could kill a guy in a fight, like on skates. Like they don't know how to balance. Like, so he goes, I had to withdraw from that. So like think of Luke, the story. And I was saying to you off air when we were talking about this, think how slow this was probably happening to Tarnowski. Like look at the stuff Luke has told us. Like you're on the ice. Okay, you know you're going to fight. When's it coming? Now it's fighting. The crowd's going crazy. I'm on my skates. What's he doing? Is he going to go to his, or you're trying to balance. You're trying to fight. Like think how slow that would have been to a guy like Tarnowski that's happening. You know what I mean?
Well, it was slow enough for him to commentate his punches. I wonder if he did that in the NHL. If he'd be in a fight, he'd be like, bang, bang, yeah, bang, oh. Oh man, that was a good video.
I just when did you see it earlier today?
I saw it last night.
Okay, so it happened.
Like it was everywhere. Spit and Chicklets got a hold of it, and Barstool, and it just went across all the socials. But it was a great clip. I mean, that's all time. And then at the end, when he throws him, he just goes limp.
It looked like a special effect from a Marvel movie when Thor throws somebody.
You know when they play a Monday Night Football game in Seattle, and at one point they're going to cut to the Fisherman's Wharf and show them throwing the fish to the other guy about 10 yards away? That's what that body looked like. Right. That limp fish flying through the air. Classic.
Anyway, we're not going to have Tarnowski on the show today. Maybe at some point.
Oh, he's probably got it.
He's probably doing an interview with the RCMP.
Yeah, he's probably on Spit and Chicklets right now.
Anyway, 780-218-9999 is how you can reach us. That is the good old text line. It is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday. That's from 4 to 10 p.m. You can email reid@edmontonsportstalk.com, jay@edmontonsportstalk.com. Bronco Nick has sent in his limerick. We will get to that a little bit later on. If you're streaming the show on an audio streaming service, an application. When did they go from being called programs to apps? Like when we were kids, it was like, I'm going to put a program on my computer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now they're all applications.
When was that, Coob?
Well, my entire life almost. Well, since the smartphone really came out, I think when the first iPhone came out, they started changing it
now
over.
Now, even on your computer, they call it an
store.
app. They say you got to get the app on your computer, whereas I think if I'm getting an app, I'm putting a program on my computer.
Or software.
So much for that. Anyway.
So much for an old compact disc software download.
I know. We should get a CD player at the new office. If you're using the app, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, we thank you for streaming the show. Favorite the show. Sign up for the podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk. We're over 13,000 subscribers, which is awesome. And give us a thumbs up as well. Did you guys get over 100 on Monday? You and Tommy G?
Yes, we got up
so we got to get to at least 100.
Yeah.
I mean, we know, look, we're not ignorant to it being the summer. Listening habits change. There's not the frenzy around the Oilers playing
People
every
are
second
away.
or third day. I mean, we know they're still following the Elks and other things, which we're all going to be talking about. But yeah, maybe you're off work. So we know people's routines might change, but keep it in your routine that when you are in the show on YouTube or bounce in for a second, give us a thumb up.
Give us a thumb.
I got to do this. See, I haven't done a show since Friday. I got a little rust to shake off.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right, there it is.
Oh, I was listening to, so Sickler drove me home yesterday.
Oh, I bet Sickler, finally.
And I was listening to a replay. We were listening, because that's all he has on in his car.
As he should.
On iHeartRadio. And I was listening to, and I did the voice, so you know how I usually go click, click, and I chime in and I sing over it? But on the audio, it's delayed. Like half a second. So it would really be annoying for the person in their car, and they're wondering, why is Jay behind? So I've got to stop doing that.
No, you can keep doing it.
It's behind?
I think it's fine.
Yeah, bro.
It shouldn't be behind.
No.
It is. Check it out.
Maybe you're behind.
Maybe that day you just were a little bit behind.
Maybe
what
my
what show
listening's-
was it replaying?
Maybe
Mondays?
my hearing's behind.
Maybe
Maybe my hearing's delayed.
that's
You need a new
delayed
app
hearing.
for that. Yeah.
The
yeah.
volume is the same. It's just a half second later.
It was a replay of the Monday show, because we were driving home at the same time it would have been
so
on.
did you guys play it on Monday? You and Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you did. That was a
Couple
really
times.
good show, by the way.
Thank you.
I missed a little bit of about 20 minutes of it, but that was a fun show. Tommy was good on the CFL stuff. I thought.
Really good.
Yeah.
He offered a lot of insight, because he's in a very specific role with TSN on the sidelines.
Yeah, I saw him strutting around the sidelines on Sunday.
He would strut.
Well, he's earned it.
He's earned it. He
Yeah.
looks good.
Pastor 1990 says koalas may look cute, but remember they have sharp claws that allow them to climb trees. Don't they eat a lot of bamboo too? Is that koalas or is that
That's
pandas?
panda bears.
Pandas. Well, the koalas are gray.
Yeah, they're cute.
Don't
Right.
koalas only eat eucalyptus?
Sure, Coop.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yes. All right. So that's how you get in touch. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube.
Oh, Big Uke says Monday you were 100% behind a bit, but only then. But usually good. How is it the only
does
the one
Uke
day I
remember
listened
that?
to it and it was behind? So I'm going to carry on with the bit.
Yeah. Well, you have to.
I have to.
Yeah. All right. 780-218-9999. Text the River Crew Resort and Casino inbox. And here's something that you want to text in about. So the Blue Jays did lose today. What, they had won 10 in a row?
Yeah.
They're sweeping the nation. They're taking the nation by storm. And we're going to test some of our Blue Jays knowledge later on. But this is just a fun one. The off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. Who is your favorite Blue Jay of all time? Your favorite Blue Jay of all time?
See, the way I answer these
Yes.
is just what pops in my head.
Okay.
First.
Who popped in?
Because that has meaning to you. Pat Borders.
Pat Borders.
Yeah.
Backup catcher.
He was a catcher.
Did he play third base as well?
He started
The
out
corners?
as an infielder to third baseman,
Okay.
but he didn't have the chops to do it, so he moved to catcher.
Right.
He was a Blue Jay from 88 to 94.
Long time.
Long
Two-time
time.
World Series champion.
Two-time Worlds and 92 World Series MVP.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
I just would, as a younger kid, I mean, I would have been in those glory years, I would have been 10, 11, 12 kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he always had a mouthful of chaw. Like, it would have to have been Red Man, because it was just a ball, like a lime-sized ball in his mouth, and just chewing all the time. And he always wore the hard baseball hat. He never had a ball cap on. He'd always wear like
That was Olerud.
No, but
They both did it?
They did it too.
Oh, I didn't know
like
all the
Olerud.
Borders did it too.
Yeah, because he's a catcher, so he would wear it under his.
Oh, yeah, well, the catchers
But
wear
even
it
on
all time.
but even in the bench and whatnot.
He just would leave it on.
yeah. Pat Borders.
Yeah, see, I my favorite of all time, I mean, I liked Ernie Whitt when I was a kid.
Mm.
I mean, then the World Series era, there were a lot of good players. I mean, I always kind of liked Olerud, but obviously, you know, Alomar was a star. Carter was a star. I mean, I liked Henke, the reliever. I don't know if it's hard for me to pick just one.
Henke or Henkin?
Tom Henke was the closer in the 80s.
Mr. Henke?
You don't remember him?
No.
Because you probably don't remember the 85, 87 teams that went to the playoffs as well.
Nope.
I don't totally remember them, but that's when Buck Martinez would have been playing.
Right.
Part of that. And Tom Henke, Henke, was the closer. And he was very good. And I think he wore glasses and they called him the Terminator because he put them away.
A patch? Did he have an eye patch?
He did not have an eye patch. No, he did not have an eye patch. Who's your favorite Blue Jay of all time? Rob from the Grove, Fred McGriff, Barry the Cheater, Roger Clemens, 2-time Cy Young winner. Bronco Nick says Halliday and Henke. Mike Crosby says Doc, so that's Halliday. Mex Bezozu, Alomar. We'll see. We'll kind of have an informal winner for the favorite Blue Jay of all time. And then we have a very interesting test for me regarding the Blue Jays later on.
This will be must listen.
I'm probably going to be humiliated, but I'm used to that now.
I think you're going to get, I don't know that you'd know any of these, but you might get lucky and get them right.
Because we were saying, we'll talk about this later. But basically, as good as the Blue Jays are doing, I would struggle to name most of the roster.
Of course.
Because you follow hockey, I've become a little bit detached, maybe a lot detached from baseball over the last 10 to 15 years, which probably isn't great. But we'll have an interesting test of my Blue Jays knowledge from the last decade, shall we say.
Okay. We shall.
He is Jason Milne. I am Reid Wilkins. You're going to hear from Ike Howard, the new member of the Edmonton Oilers, when we get back. Right now, you'll hear from the Coupe.
Elks injury report today has David Beard out with a calf injury. Day one, he'll be limited, while Javon Leake and Robbie Smith did not practice. Leake with a quad ailment, while Smith sat out with an elbow injury. And the Jays dropped a 2-1 game to the White Sox to close out their series. Toronto's 10-game win streak being snapped. In the game, the Jays led 1-0 until the end of the fourth, allowing 2 runs from Chicago. And Toronto opens up a series against the Athletics tomorrow. Right now, in extra innings, bottom of the 10th, Milwaukee and LA are tied at 2 apiece. Elsewhere, Philly and San Fran are in the bottom of the 6th. Phillies up 4-0. Other baseball action has the Riverhawks in Bellingham to play the Bells in the second of their 3-game series. Edmonton losing 8-6 in their opener yesterday. First pitch at 7:35, with the Riverhawks sitting 2 games back of top spot in the North Division. Bellingham holding first place. Cactus Rats also play. They visit Fort Mac, fresh off a 5-2 loss to the Giants. Action gets going just after 7. While in the WNBA, we saw the Mercury win 79-71 over the Lynx just moments ago. At 6 o'clock, it's the Wings and Sky tipping off. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sports Medicine. Call them at 780-460-9977, or you can visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca to book an appointment today. More with Reid and Jay once we get back from a brief break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
2 guys and a goalie.
You've heard GM Dan Bowman say this year that there's been a particular focus to go in-house with some of the positions that are available this year. He's hoping Matt Savoy can do something. Noah Phil, I believe there's the ball's in his court to earn a spot onto this roster.
To have him there.
Yeah, there's definitely opportunities for growth from within inside the organization.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Win a trip to Osheaga with the Banquet in Aperol. We're sending 1 lucky guest to Montreal with flights, hotel, and 2 tickets to one of Canada's hottest music festivals. Enter by July 26. Details in store or on the Banquet app. Get real. Play hard.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Summer in Edmonton means three things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Kayaks, bikes, camping gear? Make space for summer fun with Sentinel Storage. Spend more time on adventures with your outdoor gear and less time looking for them. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
All right, appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. We will have Jay's Play of the Day in about 15 or 20 minutes. This is going to be a fun one, and it kind of has me flashing back to earlier days
memories,
of my career, so we'll probably get into that as well. Again, we're in this segment, like in a minute, we're going to get to some clips from Ike Howard. So Ike Howard is the new Oiler, traded from Tampa Bay. When did that come out? Last night? For Sam O'Reilly. So a couple of guys picked late in the first round, traded for each other. So Ike Howard, 21 years of age, just turned 21 at the end of March. Hobey Baker Award winner. So exciting opportunity for him. Hopefully can come in and join the Oilers in training camp. So we'll get to some clips from him. In a little less than 2 hours now, at 20 after 5, Jordan Maximic, the offensive coordinator for the Edmonton Elks, is scheduled to join us. And because we love having him, and we'll find fun stuff to talk to him about, Drew Remenda is going to be on the show as well. So that's all
one of the best
coming up. We got buying or selling for Damon Bunting. We'll have fired up for Jemko all throughout the course of the day. We're great. We haven't done a show together in what, almost 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Because I did 4 myself last week and 1 the previous week. And there was no show. So 2 weeks tomorrow since we did a show together, right?
Yeah.
Together. We've been on, obviously.
Did you miss me?
I did. Oh. And then I saw you yesterday. I miss you. Here's because people say, well, do you miss Jay? I say, yes. And you asked me this the first couple of times you were off. You were like, so how did it feel? I said, don't take this the wrong way, but when the show starts, I don't think about you. Because you're not there. Because you're not there.
Right.
Because if I do the show and my internal dialogue is, well, if only Jay were here,
right?
That's going to drag down my performance. Now I realize people are used to us together, and by the way, you especially got some really nice compliments from nasties and listeners at the golf classic yesterday. But it's like a hockey team. Well, the Oilers, Hyman's not here. Yeah. Well, how Hyman's not here? We're like, you're writing yourself off.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. But I mean, certainly we're a duo now, buddy.
We are a dynamic duo.
We're like Penn and Teller. But one of us is more talkative. We're both more talkative.
We're both. Yeah. What? You're not a mute, nor am I. Was that a bit, or can he actually?
No.
Talk?
You were away. I opened one show when you were away by saying this show is going to be exactly like a Penn and Teller performance with less magic and more talking. So yes, Teller talks.
Can he?
He does not talk when they are Penn and Teller together on stage. If you were to interview, I can't remember his first name because Penn is Penn Gillette. Teller is his last name. If you were to, if Teller walked in right now and we said, hey, can you come in for an interview? He'd say yes, and he'd come in and talk to us. But when they're on stage together as a duo, he does not talk.
Some people say, I know you got to get the clips here, but Stevie Wonder wasn't actually blind.
Can you imagine what a maneuver that would be, eh?
That would be an all-timer. And come out like later in your life and be like, I see ya.
I saw all of you giving me the finger.
I think it was just because people were shocked at how accurate he was in describing things that they figured he must not be blind because he's just so good at, you get used to sensing and feeling,
Oh, I see.
Somebody say he said something to him in an elevator that only a person that with sight could see or something. There's a few.
Oh, wow.
That's like
but then you don't know if those are true or not.
That's a far-fetched
or if they're old wives' tales or whatever. That would be quite...
That would be diabolical.
How do I get people to listen to my music? Oh, tell you're blind. Okay. Anyway, it's time for the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel! Understood. So the new guy is Ike Howard, 5'11", about 190. As I mentioned, turned 21 on March 30th. Hobey Baker Award winner. That's a significant award. Top hockey player in the NCAA. Quite impressive numbers from last year with Michigan State. 37 games, 26 goals, 26 assists, 52 points, 10 penalty minutes. He was plus 19. So the Oilers trade Sam O'Reilly for... I gotta stop calling him Isaac. He wants to be called Ike. Ike Howard joining the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, I'm super psyched. It's such an unreal opportunity. I'm grateful that Tampa was able to make this done. And I can't wait to get started. And definitely such a cool place. And couldn't be happier.
Well, and definitely an opportunity with the Oilers. A lot of discussion. I did a thing, Jay, when you were gone, that the Oilers last year got to 259 goals as a team. So I kind of went through the roster and I said, you know what? I can account for 200 goals in the upcoming season.
Right.
I can see them missing about 60 goals from last year. So how many are? And now he was not on the team on the roster yet, but I had a group of like Savoy and maybe Tomasek and guys like who fills in these goals. He's going to get an opportunity here. And I realize that I'm sure we're going to get a lot of feedback, and I've already heard it on this station. And it's justified to say, how much can we rely on a rookie to score? I would think he's probably better prepared for the NHL than maybe even a guy like this Tomasek guy who's older. But the NCAA is now a very vital feeder system to the NHL. And we're going to look at the Hobey Baker Award later on in the show when we go into buying or selling. I know you didn't want me to tell you my topics, but
let's do it. I
think that's something to look at a little bit later on. So like Ike Howard definitely has an opportunity here with the Oilers.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I was so excited about this fit. I watched every single Oilers playoff game the last couple of years. I think just watching, it's such a high pace, skilled and fast, work ethic first. I think that's kind of exactly my game. And I think that's why this could be such a great fit and, why I was really excited.
All right. So, it seems like he wants to be an Oiler. I'm not going to necessarily throw him on a line with McDavid or Draisaitl immediately. But again, he can score goals. Did you see the Craig Button stuff from the morning show? Some people probably saw it. Craig Button compared him. Let me start that again. He said a comparable player is Clayton Keller. Okay. Now, maybe not in terms of the exact same number of points, but in maybe the skill set as the type of player who can finish plays. Now, if he gets the points Clayton Keller gets, I just want to remind people about this because I was like, oh, yeah. Clayton Keller had 90 points this past season. That tied him for 11th in scoring.
Wow.
With Brandon Hagel. Clayton Keller had 1 point less than Sidney Crosby. He outpaced Nick Suzuki. He outpaced Rantanen. If you would have come up to me...
Yeah, never.
Randomly, I like, sorry, I don't remember every stat. Like, if you would have come up to me yesterday morning and said, who had more points this year, Rantanen or Clayton Keller? I would have said Rantanen by about 20 to 25.
Yeah, by a lot.
Now, maybe that's part of Keller playing for Utah as well. But anyway,
I mean, he's scored at every level he's played at.
So that's the thing. That's why I personally feel encouraged about this. And I mean, for the people who heard me last week, I was like, yeah, where do the goals from? And I'm not saying Howard is going to come in here and score 30, but I think with his skill set and the fact that he was a first-round pick, granted a later pick, but still a first-round pick, I think he darn well better be someone who can play on McDavid's or Draisaitl's wing eventually. And that eventually could be later this season, quite frankly. It may be necessary.
So you're not suggesting he would be in the opening night lineup?
No, I think he'll probably be in the opening night lineup, but maybe he's not with one of the two big boys.
Because, I mean, there was discussion all of a sudden this morning about the Calder Trophy.
Well, that'd be fun. I mean,
I think that's it.
I don't want to put the expectations that high. I don't want to do the Mac T, Justin Schultz thing, Norris Trophy potential. But I think the potential to be a very solid, maybe middle six winger. And then you also have the potential of Savoy, who wasn't just a first-round draft pick. He was a top 10 draft pick. So the Oilers need to get younger, and they need to get a little quicker. Hopefully players who can do that right now. But okay, here's what I'm wondering, Jay. Are the Oilers better suited to be a contending team in 2 years as opposed to this year? Like, could this be a slight step back next year and percolate for the next season type of situation? I know that's not what people want to hear. Quite frankly, that's not what I want either. But
it's hard to say, but it could very well happen. Yeah. I don't think this team is they always refer to it as the window.
Yeah.
What's the window for them to get this done? I think the window is quite big right now still.
I think it's still fairly big.
So yeah, it could be and develop along some of these younger players, but I think, and this is a very much so an Edmonton thing to do, is to say, look at this flashy new thing. We're going to the Cup. We're going to win it. This kid's going to, score over 20 goals.
But I'm actually encouraged with this player.
Yeah?
Well, because, again, the NCAA it's just going to keep getting better and better. They're just going to keep getting, McKenna's going to go there, right, for the upcoming year.
Well, Penn State.
It's just going to keep getting better and better.
Didn't they scratch him a check for $700,000? I'm serious.
Yeah, no, I know. So, like, James in the Nasty says Clayton Keller gets power play one time. Howard has not played more than 43 games in a season since his draft year. Conditioning for an 82-game schedule plus playoffs is a big ask. All right. First of all, the power play one thing, yes. James, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that Ike Howard is a 90-point player. And Craig Button wasn't saying that. I think he was saying there's some comparables with the skill set of a guy who can finish plays and shoot the puck. I don't think Ike Howard's going to get 90 points. But if he can shoot and finish opportunities that he's given, then I think he can score, perhaps in a support scoring role. I think James makes a great point, though, about the length of the schedule.
The
length of the schedule.
It's a fair point.
Because why is major junior hockey in Canada considered such a great training ground for the NHL? Well, yes, there's the talent, but you're playing around 70 games and you're doing and let's face it, the bus rides are probably more exhausting than most of the plane rides the NHLers go on, right? So you're put through the ringer as opposed to more of basically a weekend league, right?
But let me ask you this about that. If Ike Howard is 3/4 of what everybody thinks he could be, okay, so a decent player, somebody that can contribute and in his first year. Why wasn't every other team pursuing this player in the same, in the same manner as the Oilers?
I don't know the full thing behind it. Well, because they were willing to give up O'Reilly, and I think Tampa wanted some sort of a first round pick. Anyway, and I got the sense that this would have been a preferred destination for Ike Howard, given a couple of things he said today as well.
Okay. So he was excited to come to Edmonton.
Right.
I mean, who wouldn't as a young forward?
Right.
That's a goal scorer.
Yeah, but I don't mind this deal. I'm not trying to say I'm putting all these expectations on him for this upcoming season, but I think this is a good acquisition. He is from Wisconsin, by the way, so I had to ask about those roots and if he likes the Packers.
Yeah, so I grew up in Hudson, Wisconsin, right on that border of Minnesota and Wisconsin. So growing up, but I've never been huge into football. Kind of always just a hockey-oriented guy. So the Minnesota Wild was like 30 minutes away from me. And so that's kind of the team, like the games I would go to and stuff. Marion Gaborik, when I was really young, was kind of a guy I loved to watch and look up to. So I think, probably him and maybe some other NHL guys at that time, but more of a hockey guy than football.
All right, so more of a Minnesota Wild guy. Well, it doesn't seem like he cares about the Packers at all, quite frankly. And Hudson's, what would he say, closer to Minneapolis than to Minneapolis, St. Paul than to Green Bay. But I thought I had to ask if he's got a cheese head in his closet or something like that. We'll have some more clips from Ike Howard throughout the afternoon. We'll discuss him more in the next segment and with buying or selling for Damon Bunting when we get to 4 o'clock. Jay and I are coming to you from the Banquet Studio. The Banquet Summer Feature Menu is here. Bacon wrapped pickles, spicy Korean noodle bowls, and cocktails like the Pink Lady and the Blueberry Hibiscus Smash. Try now at the Banquet. Get real. Play hard. All right, Jay's Play of the Day is coming up for Play Alberta. It's going to be a fun one. Here comes the Coop.
Day one of the Elks injury report sees David Beard, Javon Leake, and Robbie Smith out of practice. Beard was limited with a calf injury. Smith out with an elbow injury, while Leake had a quad ailment. And for the Jays, their 10-game win streak is no more, being snapped, losing 2-1 to the White Sox, closing their series. Jays open a series tomorrow against the Athletics. Elsewhere, the Giants are down 4-0 to the Phillies in the bottom of the 7th, while Tampa Bay holds the Tigers 2-0 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And from Washington, the Riverhawks play the Bells in Bellingham, fresh off an 8-6 loss yesterday to kick off their 3-game series. Bellingham, first in the North Division at 21-13 on the season. Edmonton sits 2 games back, playing 4 less games. Energy City is also in action in Fort McMurray just after 7 o'clock. Cactus Rats dropping a 5-2 decision yesterday to the Giants. Meanwhile, 3 games are wrapped up. 1 game to go in the WNBA. It's Chicago and Dallas tipping off at 6 o'clock. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or call them at 780-467-5014. Jays Play of the Day for Play Alberta is up next as the boys go off the wagon. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The oil stream. I look at it as I would describe it, to me, it's a bit of a gamble because you're rolling the dice, hoping it speeds up the process.
Yeah.
You get a guy who's more ready and has that offensive
So you're
punch.
thinking it's a bit of a gamble for what the team is hoping to accomplish this year? Like taking a guy with no experience and basically slotting him into the top 6 on a championship caliber club?
Yeah, sure.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses? Chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Everyone knows when you need a truck now, you call Dawn.
That's right. You call us, Frontier Cartage, when you need driver coverage or have a truck that's down.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you've got way more freight to move than you thought.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you need a truck that's available and ready to start anytime you need.
You call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826. 587-222-5826.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Must you click? Click. Must you click?
All right, thanks, Coop. Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Our off-topic topic for William Huff. Who is your favorite Blue Jay of all time? I don't know if we had a clear leader from some of the ones that have come in so far. Got a Devon White from Mike, the Michigan fan. Hernan Salas liked Carlos Delgado. Joe Carter certainly getting some mentions. Bautista and Encarnacion, newer guys. I don't know if there's a clubhouse leader.
In the River Cree Inbox and Casino, I'll give you a few here. Got to be Roy Halladay. That comes in from Pat. Darren says Tony Fernandez.
Oh.
Shotsky Jerry, George Bell.
MVP 1987.
Ed from Edmonton, John Olerud.
Yeah, I liked him too. Justin of Balgoni. Ed Sprague, dramatic home run in the top of the ninth. I believe in game 2 of the 92 World Series. Was it game 1 or game 2? Do you remember, Coop?
I wish.
Mark from Hope said Bo Bichette, Kelly Gruber, Roy Halladay. I think Roy Halladay might be winning.
He might be winning. But it's not, he has 60%.
No.
He might have 25.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of, it was game 2 of the 92 World Series in Atlanta. The Braves had won the first game, had a 4-3 lead in the top of the ninth in game 2. I was telling Ben, the intern, about this yesterday, because this is ancient history to him.
Yeah.
I believe Derek Bell got on base as a pinch hitter, and Ed Sprague hit a home run off Jeff Reardon to give the Blue Jays the lead in the top of the ninth. They closed it out. Ed Sprague married to, was it Kristen Babb Sprague? An American synchronized swimmer who I believe won a gold medal in the Olympics. I think I did not look this up. I think that's correct. And I think I interviewed Ed Sprague once. Was it Ed Sprague? I think I interviewed Ed Sprague. I interviewed Paul Molitor. He was great.
Yeah?
He was great. Yeah, it was during COVID. And it was like, so Dave Campbell and like, who can we get on? Because at that time, there were no current games going on. And we were like, Paul Molitor, try and find him. Found an email or some team. He might have been like an ambassador for the Twins at that. Because he managed them for a while, right? I think he managed the Twins and then he was a team ambassador. So you sent an email off and it was like within a day. It's like, yeah, he'll do the show. He has to pre-tape 8:30 Central, 7:30 Mountain. So I got up, pre-taped the interview. We ran it that night. It was great. Anyway, there's a totally pointless and meandering story, everybody. We should get a sponsor for those. They'd get their money's worth. We'd be mentioning them every 5 minutes.
Be half the show.
And here's a meandering thing. I just got a text from my mother. Asking about Name the Animal. We will do Name the Animal tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
We'll do Coob, write that down. Because Jay's off again on Friday.
Yeah.
We're not going to see a lot of each other this summer. It'll be sporadic. Well, next week we're together all week.
Yeah. Then you're off at the end of July.
Right, because you have this Friday off and another Friday off in July.
Yeah.
I have August 1st off, and then I have the last 2 weeks of August off.
Then after that, I don't have anything off till Christmas.
Right.
So you're going to see a lot of me.
I was texting with my buddy last week, And this is where this Blue Jay idea came from that we're going to do later because he loves the Blue Jays. And he and I got to be friends in the mid-90s. And a lot of we liked the Blue Jays and the Expos and talked a lot of baseball. But I've sort of lost the, I guess, the immersion in baseball. So he texted me when they won their 7th in a row and was all excited. And he was listing all these players that he likes. And I was like, glad you're keeping me updated here because, you're totally into the Cup run and the Elks starting. That, at least for me, I there's not a lot of room in my brain and my life for Blue Jays stuff. And then he is not, despite the fact he's a lifelong Edmontonian, he is not a big Oilers fan. He takes interest in the playoffs. He's not one of those guys who's going to tune in on January 20th to hear who's on the third line. He's just not a huge hockey guy.
Right.
The playoffs, he got more into it. I remember when Perry scored to tie game 2, I got a text from him and he's like, well, that was something. And I'm like, yeah, it certainly was. But anyway, so we were texting about a little bit of that, the Blue Jays stuff. And I was like, hey, we got to make sure we get together this summer and play a couple games or watch a movie. And then I said, I texted him how many days it was until the Oilers preseason started. And it's in the 70s. It's not that long. And he was like, my goodness. I'm like, yeah, it's coming up. What were we talking about?
Well, I don't know. We were talking about Blue Jays players.
Post in the nasty chat and tell us what we were talking about. Oh, no, we have something else, though.
Well,
George Bell, Tom Henke, both good.
Devon White.
Mosby. Yeah, Mosby was good. Barfield was good.
Sickler says third baseman Kelly Gruber.
Yeah.
So he preferred him as third baseman. Roberto Alomar, Kelly Gruber, Kawasaki, Carlos Delgado.
And these are your favorite player, not necessarily
not the
best
greatest
player. Ooh, foreshadowing. No, people are thinking we're going to have him on the show.
Yeah.
No. Joe Carter's just going to stroll in here.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, just in Edmonton for a couple days. All right. So keep those coming in. Your favorite Blue Jay of all time, the off-topic topic. We have right now Jay's Play of the Day. And, of course, it is presented by Play Alberta.
It's Jay. It's Play. He's Jay. It's today. It's Jay's Play of the Day. It's Jay's Play of the Day. Jay's Play of the Day.
All right. Why settle for less when you can have it all? Only Play Alberta brings you casino games, live dealers, lottery, instants, and sports betting all in one place. So people have been asking about the codes. They're actually the same codes as last month. They just reset. Okay? So $50 casino bonus. You put in 20. The code is EST Casino. $50 free sports bet. You put in 20, and then you use the code EST Sports. Don't forget to use your game sense. Now, with the $50 free sports bet, you got to use it all on one game or prop or whatever. You can't do $51 bets for free.
Got it.
But
Noted.
Still, it is a free bet. All right. What is Jay's Play of the Day, my young friend?
Well, on Monday, we decided to go this way to the Chucks at the Calgary Stampede. Yes, folks, you can bet on the Calgary Stampede.
I love
Play
that.
Alberta. It's fantastic. So we're going back to the same guy who moneyed for us on Monday. We're going Chance Vegan to win day 6 of the Chuckwagons, to have the fastest time. It's not to win his heat, although he is.
Well, if he's going to win his heat, if he's going to get the fastest time of the day.
No, there's 10 heats.
But if he was going to have the fastest time of the day,
he needs to win.
He would
his
also
heat.
have to win his heat. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. But he is on the number 1 barrel. Good. And the worst he's finished this whole week has been 4th. And that was only once. He's either finished 1st or 2nd in every other race. So it was plus 200. Our friends over at Play Alberta, as they always do, boosted it. So you will only find this bet on Play Alberta on Jay's Play of the Day. It is plus 215 for Chance Vegan. Let's ride him, cowboy.
You know,
I can hear him coming now.
I think I hear him coming now. So it's been a long time since I covered the Chucks, but I did it 7 years in Lloydminster.
Lloyd, right.
So this is going to be interesting for people. Because I know when I went to Lloyd, Greg Buchanan, who we've had on the show, was my sports director. He hired me, and he goes, you got to cover rodeo and chuck wagons. And I was like, yeah, I get, we got to cover a lot of stuff. And then at one point I made the mistake of saying, yeah, I'm going to cover rodeo this weekend, and I was going to cover chuckwagon races. Chuckwagon is not a rodeo event. Sometimes a chuckwagon will be part of a rodeo.
Occurs during a rodeo.
Like the Ardrossan rodeo might have chuckwagon races, but chuckwagon races are their own sport, right? Bull riding is part of a rodeo.
Yes.
You can have a chuckwagon race without a rodeo. I guess you could have a bull, but that's PBR or whatever. So anyway, I had to learn that terminology. And then I learned a lot about, so this too. There's the World Professional Chuckwagon Association. There's the Canadian Professional Chuckwagon Association. Almost all the drivers are from Alberta and Saskatchewan. Okay? But there's a World Pro and there's a CPCA. And the World Pro was higher profile and more money, generally. Okay? And generally better drivers. But the Canadian professional finals were in Lloyd, and we would do a nightly special on the 4 nights of the finals, and then there was a final race on the Sunday night, and that was the Canadian champion. The Calgary Stampede, at least when I was covering it, was mostly World Pro drivers, and then some really good guys from the CPCA. Okay, and what I learned was that a lot of the money they make, like you want to be in the Rangeland Derby, you want to be in the Calgary Stampede because you make more money. And I'm sure there are people listening thinking, oh yeah, well, Reid, it's the Stampede. There's more prize money. And I give you the little Matumbo. Well, there is more prize money, but I also give you the little Matumbo finger wag because if you're a good driver, you're making most of your money weeks before the Stampede even starts. And people might be thinking, well, how do they do that now, Reid? So there is some. Now, I find it interesting because there are probably some people in the audience nodding along with me, and they know exactly what I'm going to say, and they're probably even thinking, "Well, Reid, you're missing some details because you're foggy thinking back." And there are other people thinking, "Like, what the heck is he? How do you get money before the event? Right? Why do you? Don't you have to win? Like, I'm sure people are thinking it's racing. It's the ultimate. How well you perform determines how much money you get." I hopefully you know what a chuck wagon looks like. There's a canvas or a tarp on the back of the wagon. It's a big white space.
Yeah.
Guess what you can put on there? It's called advertising.
Joe's Plumbing.
So Yvonne's Furniture. So Reid Wilkins is the best chuck wagon racer in the world. And I have been for 5 years. Maybe I've won the World Pro aggregate, 4 years out of 5. I've won the Rangeland Derby twice. I'm always in the final heats at the Ponoka Stampede, and I'm really good. I'm always getting my name announced. I'm getting interviews on TV and radio when we roll into whatever community. So if you have Yvonne's Furniture on Reid Wilkins' wagon, that's going to get some exposure. And you have to remember, when the announcer calls the race, they don't say, and it's Reid Wilkins in the back straight with the lead. It's Yvonne's Furniture driven by Wilkins. You get mentioned all the time.
Yep.
So you're thinking, I got to get on Reid's wagon. And Coob comes in there with Coob's Wrapping Services, RAPP.
Yeah, of course.
And he's like, I got to get on Wilkins' wagon, right? So what happens weeks before the Calgary Stampede, before the Rangeland Derby, there is what is known as a tarp auction. And so my first summer in Lloyd in 2000, Bucky, Greg Buchanan says to me, he goes, the tarp auction is tonight. We'll have to put the results up tomorrow. Maybe we can get an interview with somebody. Because Buddy Bensmiller from Dewberry, which is about half hour from Lloyd, was one of the top guys. And I was like, what do you mean like a tarp auction? He's like, okay, I'll tape it tonight. We'll watch it tomorrow. I'll explain it to you. So the best driver, okay, Coop, what would you pay to advertise on the back of on the Chuckwagon tarp for 10 days of racing at the Calgary Stampede?
I don't know. I mean, if I had enough money, $25,000. I don't know if you're going to mention that much.
You'd be lucky to sponsor the worst driver in the field, right, Jay? I don't know what it was this year, but the year Greg taught me about this, The top guy, I believe, got around $150,000 in sponsorship money.
Do you want to know what the top was this year, or do you want to wait?
No, I want to guess. Who was it? Who's the top guy now?
Who did I say earlier?
It's Vegan?
No, Jason Glass.
Oh, Jason Glass, and he's been doing it for a while.
Birch Cliff Energy.
Has it grown since 2000?
Mm-hmm.
$330,000.
$230,000.
$230,000.
The average that was given out was $142,222.
So this is why you want to be in the Calgary Stampede, because that's covering a big chunk of your expenses for the year just by being in it. So Coob's going to stroll in, and they actually did it in a banquet hall. I'm not sure if they do it the same way now. Coob would stroll in there thinking, I'm getting Reid's wagon, right?
Yep.
And then the guy would go to the thing and he's like, all right, Reid Wilkins, two-time world, two-time world champion, two-time Rangeland Derby champion, three-time Ponoka Stampede champion, never finished worse than third in the last 7 years in the world standings. And Coob's thinking he's ready to raise his little paddle, right?
His gavel.
And the guy would say, we're going to start the bidding at $75,000.
That's him.
Right? And Coob would be like, and you're sitting there, and you're waiting.
Yeah.
And you let Hernan's Hamburgers bid 80, and you let Dusty's Dusters bid 100,000, right? And you let Gager's Repair Shop bid 110, and now you're thinking like, okay, 120, Vaughn's Furniture. There's a couple people drop out, but you're in because you know.
Yep.
You know you might need $250,000 to get on the Wilkins wagon.
I think that would be a good investment.
It's a fascinating sport. It's a fascinating world.
Though.
And the most welcoming, inviting, because after you go to do post game, to do post race, you go into the camp where they're all camped out. You wanted to drink, you could drink all night. Hey, Reid, you want a beer? Well, I actually got to go interview somebody else. Then we got to get back to Lloyd. Are you sure you can't? I was like, yes, I'm sure. And sometimes you're going yourself, like you're shooting. It's like, I actually got to drive back to Lloyd. Anyway, I love Chuckwagon racing. It looks a lot different. They've kind of toned down the danger, which I get. But I think they've gone, like, I didn't recognize the Rangeland Derby. What are all these things they have sticking off the rail? That doesn't look like racing to me.
They're pool noodles.
But so they don't want somebody right on the rail.
They don't want the animals or the wagons close to the rail. And I think they're just pool noodles, painted.
So you can still run through them without getting hurt.
But it's changed a lot.
There should be 4 horses in the heat.
It should be.
But they don't do that anymore. And I know when there's a wreck, it looks horrible. I know horses lose their lives. A lot of those horses are older thoroughbred horses who I would say have a better quality of life that they get to keep racing into their teens or 20s even.
Reid, those horses have a better quality of life than you and I. If you were to compare how they live compared to how humans live, they would be the king of the hill. And when you get treated like gold.
Yeah. And unfortunately, when you hear about these horse deaths, I know stuff because I was covering it and I still sometimes talk to people. Sometimes it's 1 or 2 drivers. And the majority of the horse deaths might be in those barns. So I don't think it's a problem with the sport. I think sometimes it's a problem with a couple drivers that don't respect the animals the way they should. Just my opinion.
There you go.
Well, I thought, you know what? That was fun talking about Chuckwagon racing. I'm glad I got to do that. Go bet on Jay's play of the day.
Eastbound and down.
Awesome stuff.
Who's it, Les McIntyre?
He was, yes. Does he still call them?
Yeah, he's calling him.
Yeah, he's got a great voice.
The best.
Yeah, and he would come do the Canadian final. So he was the WPCA guy. But then, okay, here's why the TARP auction and the advertising works. Vern Nolan always had A&W. Always had A&W on his wagon.
Right.
And when he was going to pass somebody, he goes, here comes A&W driven by Vern Nolan. Vern's saying, here's a root beer in your ear.
That's classic.
Oh, it was good. Man, I'm so energized talking about Chucks.
Well, play on them. Watch them later. They're on at 8 o'clock tonight.
We're going to do buying or selling for Damon Bunting. Here's the coop. Or after the commercials, here's the Coop. We love you, Coop.
More than the Nasty Batch.
Because I think there's a little bit more surprise at the Estes.
I'm looking forward to the Estes as well because Reid and I are coming for that Show of the Year title.
Oh, wow. Bold call.
I said it last year.
I was just going to say, I wonder what the odds would be on Show of the Year. You know what show I know would be a long shot? This one. The Lock Shop gets no love, ever.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
If you aren't wearing a Connect belt, what are you waiting for? A one-size-fits-all belt with a smooth, hole-free track system makes it adjustable for the perfect fit. With fully customizable options, you can choose your belt color, material, and buckle to suit your style. 100% Canadian-owned and operated, Connect belts are designed for work, everyday wear, and even a round of golf. Check out the large selection of men's and women's styles at www.knktbelts.com. Connect belts, the perfect fit every time.
River Creek Resort and Casino on K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
The Canadian Brewhouse is turning up the flavor this summer with our new summer feature menu. Try our jerk chicken skewers, Cajun shrimp tostadas, and street corn salsa. Bold bites made for patio season. Get them while it's hot. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Day one wrapped up for the Elks at practice. The injury report having Javon Leake and Robbie Smith missing out on practice. David Beard listed as limited. Leake for a quad issue. Smith for an elbow injury, while Beard missed some time with a calf ailment. And in baseball, the Jays' 10-game heater was snapped earlier in a 2-1 loss to the White Sox, wrapping up their series. Toronto still holds first place in the AL East. Yankees sit 3 games back in the division. And 2 games are live right now. Phillies smacking the Giants 11-0 in the top of the 8th inning, as the Brewers trail the Rays 2-0 entering the 4th. And back in Canada, the Riverhawks meet the Bells in a North Division battle. Edmonton 2 games back of Bellingham for the first in the North Division, who won their series opener 8-6 yesterday. First pitch for that one is at 7:35. Cactus Rats then visit the Fort Mac Giants Energy City, losing 5-2 yesterday. Action goes at 7:05. And on the court, there's 3 games wrapped up in the WNBA, with the Wings and Sky tipping off at 6 o'clock. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Okay, 4:08 in the afternoon. Thanks a lot for joining us. Drew Remenda is going to check in about half an hour at 20 after 5, or 5:20 if you have a digital watch. It's Jordan Maximic, the offensive coordinator for the Edmonton Elks. So Leake didn't practice. Beard's maybe on his way back.
I was happy to see that.
Yeah.
That he was limited in practice, apparently taking reps with the second unit.
I know you guys did a lot on the... first of all, awesome show Monday. Awesome day on EST. We had an Edmonton Elk on 3 different shows, including Rankin on this show. So I said it. So once they won a game, then I would believe they could win more than one game. So they got the win.
Yeah, doubter.
Well, they did it. That was it. First of all right, let's dive right in.
All right,
I just thought of a buying or selling I'm going to do on the moment, in the moment, in the heat of the moment, as the band Asia would say. You're probably a little too young for that one, too.
What was that? How'd it go?
Heat of the... It started off like, dun, 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 dun. It was the heat of the moment. That one.
Okay. Yeah.
Buying or
that
selling?
Was Asia?
I believe it was Asia. Yeah.
Cool.
Damon Bunting, buying or selling? Saw Damon yesterday. Great guy. Great supporter of the show. He's been a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area. I'm going to start saying for over 18 years because I've had for over 17 since we started.
I said 18 on Monday.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah. We're just going to say for approximately 18 years. That makes him sound shady, though, if we say that.
Yeah. He's been in and out of it.
Yeah, we don't really know. For over 18 years, he and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven. He understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. Buying or selling? This is the most entertaining CFL season since we lost the 2020 season due to COVID.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much parity in the CFL right now. Any team can win any game. Really.
And they're exciting.
High
scoring, sometimes surprising. Calgary kicking the Boogers out of Winnipeg.
Yep.
I guess that wasn't. So there were exciting games this week, unless you're a Winnipeg fan, then it really sucked. But they've had their share of good ones. Hamilton and Toronto are 51-38. A guy who wins $1 million, I think it was a guy, for 2 kickoff returns in the same game. BC and Montreal, not as many points, but a crazy ending, including a walk-off winner where I still think Rourke's the best player in the league. Makes an unreal play, though there might be some members of the Alouettes who question how the clock was operated, but still.
I think it was right.
That ends on a walk-off kick with Sean White, who was on the morning show, the Nielsen show this morning. Great interview there. And then Edmonton and Ottawa play 39-33. And I know from an Elks perspective, there was still an Elks fan perspective, are they going to put the game away? Oh, no, they're catching up. But as we often say, if you're just watching that game, this is great. Oh, one team's doing everything. They're waiting. Oh, this other team got a touchdown. Oh, well, that other team ran a punt back too. I'm going to watch the second half. And I remember the 2021 season. It stunk. Now, I know the Grey Cup was great that year. Of course, there were great games, but I remember doing Inside Sports, and it was like an Eastern game. And it was 18-17. Like the entire fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
The team that was ahead couldn't drive the ball to put the game away. The team that was behind couldn't get into field goal range. So, yeah, it was a 1-point game, but it was a paint dry fest. I mean, there's action. There are great players. I think there's a resurgence in the quality of quarterbacks. I mean, Rourke, outstanding. Adams, proven. Harris, proven. Caleros, I'd put him with the all-time greats. Bo Levi Mitchell, quite frankly, I think you'd have to put him with the all-time greats. Kelly, when he's back with Toronto, very, very good. Arbuckle's decent. I guess Drew Brown and Trey Ford, you're hoping are guys on the way up.
Well, Davis Alexander's pretty damn good, too.
I don't know if there's a team where you say their quarterback out and out stinks.
That's right.
And that's was what it was like in the Ricky Ray, Anthony Calvia era. I mean, Kevin Glenn was probably he was a pretty good quarterback, but in that era, it was like, well, he's average.
Yeah, he was good.
I think there's a resurgence, and I think that year without football, I think that hurt offenses. Because some players didn't come back to Canada, then I think you're a year away and you don't have the rhythm or the chemistry and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I brought it up because I'm buying on it, but I think this has been a phenomenal first 5 weeks in the CFL, just for pure entertainment value and action.
It's been great.
Yeah.
And honestly, the amount of big plays that are happening too. And Edmonton, unfortunately, was on the other side of them most times. But last game they had 4 big plays, whether it be on special teams or offense. And I just like that the spreads are much tighter than they've ever been. The highest spread this week right now is 5.5. That says a lot.
Well, I still think if you did the power rankings, you still might have to have Edmonton and Ottawa as the last 2.
Of course you would.
But
Ottawa last.
Well, Edmonton won head-to-head.
By virtue.
But
right?
Both teams, as they've proven, can still go out there and score points.
Yep.
Under the right situations and if they make some plays. And I hope Leake's healthy. Because the biggest change I see under this coaching staff is the special teams. If you take out, two things. Blanchard's kicking in week 1, but really not why they lost the game, ultimately. And they gave up a punt return touchdown in a game in which they also got one. I mean, the punting's been pretty good. Since week 1, Blanchard, it's like, my God.
He's perfect.
What a prospect here.
He's perfect.
Yeah.
It's week 1.
Except for that kickoff, the punt return, they cover pretty well. And there's been other punt returns that were long, or you're thinking, oh, that was close. They're close to breaking one.
Their special teams kickoff return, punt return numbers are well ahead of everybody else in the CFL.
Yeah.
And I mean, hey, that's a Mark Killam-led team. That was his bread and butter.
But I remember, we know it was 10 years since the punt return, since Kendall Lawrence got one. But I remember even when Moss was the coach, like David Morley coming back with tape about, well, you don't have because there was one year they were last in punt return average. And Moss was like, yeah, but like we're 6.2 and the best team is 8. It's like, well, but still, those add up over the course of a season.
But it was so many years where there would be a return that was like,
catch it and fall down.
Catch it and you're done. Right. Nothing, not even a glimmer of hope.
Catch it, fall down, and a penalty.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the thing. They're not taking illegal block penalties generally. Might have 1 or 2, maybe. Well, they had the negated kick return against BC. And even that one wasn't that bad.
Yeah, they're so hard.
So anyway, I'm totally buying on that. For fun, buying or selling. Winning the Hobey Baker Award translates into NHL success, with Ike Howard coming to the Oilers fresh off winning the Hobey Baker.
Buying.
Okay. So let's look at the last 10.
Okay. I figured you'd have some information on this.
And I do think there's a bit of a line here. And we have to be, like I've been saying, the NCAA is now an elite development league for the NHL, as opposed to maybe even certainly the 80s and 90s. I mean, you wouldn't get good players going there. So Macklin Celebrity won it last year. Check mark. Adam Fantilli won it in 2023. Pretty good player.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 2022, Dryden McKay. He's a goalie. He's in the AHL. Still young for a goalie. Cole Caulfield won it in 2021.
Check mark.
Okay, this one not so much, though he is in the NHL. Scott Perunovich, defenseman with Utah. 2019, Hobey Baker. Cale Makar.
Heard of him?
2018, Adam Gaudette. Solid player, like not amazing. 2017, Will Butcher. He's overseas, but he has been in the NHL. 2016, Jimmy Vesey. I mean, he's a good player. 2015, Jack Eichel. And then 2014, I mean, unfortunately, he's passed away, but Johnny Gaudreau. I mean,
what was that, like a 70% success rate?
So that's pretty good. Now, that's kind of the line. Before Gaudreau, I would say much not as accomplished in the NHL. But I would buy that winning the Hobey Baker Award is a good indicator of having at least an average NHL career.
A barometer?
Or a barometer. Barometer.
Do you have a barometer?
No.
I do.
My parents have one.
They're fun.
You can look at the humidity or the pressure, yeah.
Air pressure.
Only in your house, though.
No. Tell when a storm's coming.
So anyway, that's why I'm optimistic about Ike Howard.
That's a great thing to bring up, because that is, that alone would suggest that nothing's a sure thing, right? Nothing is, especially with younger players. But I mean, you look at what he's done in international play throughout his NCAA career, even younger age. He's been leading the pack,
right?
And to be given the Hobey Baker Award means you're the best in the NCAA,
which is not insignificant.
It's not.
Like it might have been in 1990. Oh, he won the Hobey Baker. Oh, really? Well, he didn't play in the dub.
Right.
It's not somebody you just sort of look at side eye. It's like, oh yeah, who are you playing against? The St. Vincent School for Poorly Coordinated Boys in the Little 10 conference?
Well,
like this is different.
And think of how much that's going to change now with the rules changing.
Exactly.
It's only going to mean more, because you're going to have probably the best players of that age are going to be playing NCAA hockey.
Right.
which is not, unfortunately, great for the CHL.
No, not necessarily. And maybe a trickle down to U Sports hockey as well. But I guess if every U Sports team loses players, the level of competition will still be good or still be equal.
But down.
Right. Let's do this one as well. And then we got a bigger one for after the break. So Coob says to me, have you watched any of Ike Howard's highlights? I was like, I've seen a couple pop up. I may sit and watch a longer video at some point. But I said to the Coob, I said because Coob was like, yeah, he put it in this one wrist shot, like bar down from the blue line. I was like, yeah, well, he's not scoring on NHL goaltenders. Buying or selling on my attitude.
Selling just because I thought that was kind of a dick thing to do to the Coob. You know, Coob's a young guy. He's just trying to get involved in the conversation.
Well, he was, and I gave him
and you shut him down.
That's how I advanced the conversation.
Slow your roll,
He wanted
Coob.
my opinion.
He was just telling you, have you watched them because they were impressive?
Would your approach on the matter change if I told you I shed a tear right after?
Oh.
No, I didn't. I didn't, Reid. But
jeez,
no,
no.
It made me think. It made me think, Reid. You might be right.
Don't think that. I think you're right. That's why I'm selling.
It was a nice shot.
I would like Reid to formally apologize.
Well, keep wishing for that. All right, it's 20 after 4. In 20 minutes, Drew Remenda is going to join us. In an hour, Jordan Maximic is going to join us, the offensive coordinator for Edmonton Elks. We're going to have another buying or selling topic about the Blue Jays. They did have their winning streak snapped today, but this will be a fun one. Here comes Zachary Kubish.
Elks injury report after day one. On the week, David Beard back at practice in a limited role as he continues to recover from a calf injury. Javon Leake and Robbie Smith missing practice. Leake with a quad issue with Smith because of an elbow ailment. And MLB action saw the Jays lose 2-1 to close their series with the White Sox, snapping their 10-game win streak. With 2 games live right now, San Francisco down 11-0 to the Phillies entering the 9th, while the Tigers hold a 3-2 lead over the Rays in the bottom of the 4th. And it's the Mariners and Yankees getting going. Just after that, on the road, it's the Riverhawks in Bellingham. Down in Washington, they play the Bells after losing 8-6 last night. First pitch just after 7:30, and the Bells hold top spot in the North Division at 21-13 on the season. Edmonton sits 2 games back in the North Division. Elsewhere in Fort Mac, Cactus Rats and Giants go toe-to-toe. Energy City dropping their last game to the Giants 5-2 yesterday. First pitch at 7:05. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they have plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Jay and Reid. Talk some Jays on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Keegan Matheson, he's an author. Jays are just so red hot right now.
It's a complete 180 from last year. The energy around this team, how players talk about the clubhouse, and I'm around it a lot. It's way different. I can't believe that they are at this point already. I thought they were a 500 ball club. This is what it looks like when everything goes right. It's been really impressive.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by South Fort Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Kayaks, bikes, camping gear? Make space for summer fun with Sentinel Storage. Spend more time on adventures with your outdoor gear and less time looking for them. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
All right, thanks a lot for checking out the show, Edmonton Sports Talk. Man, oh man, we love being here for you. Great golf tournament yesterday at the ranch. Second annual EST Golf Classic. When's the Nasty Bash? It's like in less than a month. Is it on the 8th?
August 8th.
Is that announced yet? We might have just ruined everything for Iwana.
No.
He's going to have a special live stream announcing it.
Well, there will be a live stream there that night because that's an Elks game night.
I think we might do this show from there as well. Are we doing it at St. Albert again?
Yeah.
The rugby club?
That'd be fun. Go hang out with Fergie's prostate.
Because, we'll do part of our show. Then you guys will do the kickoff show. Then I'll think of do half an hour while the game is on. Playing against Justin Lawrence and the Montreal Alouettes. Heartbreaker for them against the Lions. Of course, Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. It's time to turn up the fun with the all-new Play Alberta app. Your digital destination for casino, live dealers, lottery, instants, and of course, sports betting. And if you go to playalberta.ca or use the Play Alberta app, click on sports. You'll see EST specials. Click that. You'll see Jay's Play of the Day. Bunch of other fun stuff that you can have a little bit of fun with. Okay, so yours is a Chuckwagon wager today. Which is pretty cool.
Chance vegan.
So did you attend a lot of? I didn't even ask if you attended a lot of Chucks.
Oh, like we don't always go, but we've been to several.
Yeah.
Calgary Stampedes, and that is a great event. And with April and being a Stampede princess in 2006,
right?
She would then volunteer with the alumni, and then we would get passes with her.
Yeah.
So we could be right on the rail. Watching these thunderous
it's amazing
races. It's just unless you've been there or seen it. And I'll tell you what, like if you go out to Century Mile, by the airport, you can go right on the rail and listen to these thoroughbreds blow by you. Makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff. All right, so Jay has a wager today for the Rangeland Derby in Calgary. If you're taking us in on an audio stream, thank you for doing so. You're probably using TuneIn Radio or iHeartRadio. Maybe you're listening in the future on a podcast. Thanks for subscribing to that. If you're on YouTube, if you haven't already, subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk. And if you got the stream up there for YouTube, click the thumbs up. Give us a like. If you've already done that, suggest the show to somebody else. Share that link. Say, hey, check these guys out. They're having a good time. You'll have a smile or two listening to them, and get that person to give us a thumbs up. We want to get to at least 100 today. Good summer total, I think.
Yeah.
We're well over halfway to 100, but don't slow down. Don't be a pleasure delayer. Get in there and click the thumbs up. All right, so let's do this. Since we're, among other things, doing some Blue Jays talk today, a few different topics. Greatest Blue Jay, this will be part of buying or selling for Damon Bunting. Greatest Blue Jay of all time. And we want to hear from people as well in the Nasty Chat or texting the afternoon inbox, 780-218-9999. That, of course, is presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays.
Now, I think what happened off the top with the off-topic topic for William Huff morphed into this exact discussion.
Well, we asked for the favorite.
Who was your favorite
Blue Jay?
Now, nobody would say that Pat Borders was the greatest Blue Jay of all time.
Right.
But for me, he was my favorite. I know there's a lot of good names, but I just always thought Carlos Delgado. I mean, that was, prime Blue Jays viewing time for me.
Right.
He played for the Blue Jays from 93 to 04.
That long, eh?
Yeah. Because I like to include that in it. I think longevity means something in this discussion. He's the franchise leader in on-base slugging percentage, plate appearances, and home runs. And when he hit home runs, they were a sight to behold.
Right.
So I'm going to go Carlos Delgado. I understand you may not agree with me, but that's okay. Who do you think it is?
Roberto Alomar.
Yeah. I didn't realize Robbie Alomar played with the Blue Jays that long, as long as he did.
Yeah, 6 seasons, 2 World Series, just an outstanding all-around player. Now, I know he didn't win an MVP. The only 2 Blue Jays to win MVPs are George Bell in 87 and Josh Donaldson won it. But I just think if you looked at what Alomar, he was a great defensive player. He was a great hitter. He could hit for power. He made a lot of big plays in the playoff seasons as well, the World Series seasons. I'd have to go with Roberto Alomar. Here's what AI says.
I know what they're going to. Can I guess?
Yes.
Roy Halladay.
Yes. The Blue Jays, best of all time, are subjective. Thanks, AI. Several players consistently rank high. Roy Halladay is often cited as the best, followed by Dave Steve.
Yeah,
Dave Steve was a great pitcher, and Roberto Alomar. Carlos Delgado and Jose Bautista also make strong cases for top spots. So the 2 guys who won MVPs, according to AI, aren't listed in the top 5. Halladay is up there. I mean, you can't put Fernandez up there. He wasn't as impactful a player as some of the other guys. Carter was obviously outstanding and has the biggest moment in team history.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Alomar, again, was a more well-rounded player. Bautista's an interesting one. I mean, he was obviously very good. But Delgado's longevity is interesting, but it's not enough for me to put him at number 1.
Bautista is an interesting one. 9 years with the team. But once again, as you just mentioned with Joe Carter, Jose Bautista has his moment.
True.
The bat flip.
The bat flip.
I think this is an age-related thing. Because I wasn't really... Like, when Roy Halladay was there... And I don't know if Roy Halladay was the doc as much as he was until he left and went to Philadelphia.
Right.
When he turned, he was good. It was great with the Blue Jays. But I think that somewhat is more of a career if you were to choose Roy Halladay. But yeah, I like Robbie Alomar he was the first person to do that spinning jump catch on the run, which was pretty cool.
I mean, Halladay was with the Jays 12 years. That's an exceptional length of time.
Yeah, Cy
Young winner in 2003. Top 5 in the Cy voting. 4 consecutive years with the Jays, and then he won another one with the NL in the Phillies, which we're not counting towards his Blue Jays years. I think, to me, it'd be between him and Alomar. I guess the reason I have a soft spot for Alomar is that he was there for the World Series teams. And I watched a lot of those teams. Like, I watched quite a bit of baseball in that era. So that's probably why I would pick him. I think Halladay, for me, would be number 2. I mean, his Cy Young year, no, I know this is just 1 year. His Cy Young year, he went 22-7, had 9 complete games. Were there even 9 complete games in the majors last season? Somebody tell me how many total complete games in the majors there were last season. He was exceptional in that year. Had a year he went 19-7, 16-5, 16-7.
28.
There were 28 complete games in the majors last season. Halladay had 67 in his career. I'm actually surprised it's that high.
28?
Does it have breakdown each pitcher? I bet you one guy had 4 or 5 of them.
It was the lowest number of complete games in MLB history for a year.
Of course it was.
The previous record for fewest complete games was 29 in the shortened 2020 season.
Right, we're not counting that one. Yeah, Halliday would be, to me, Halliday's the only one that could challenge Alomar. But Blue Jays leader in batting average is Molitor, who wasn't there as long, 315. Alomar batted 307. Him and Molitor are the only two guys to have a career batting average over 300 with the Blue Jays. Delgado leads in a bunch of stuff for sure. Vernon Wells leads in at bats. Nobody mentioned him, eh?
No. 3 pitchers had 2 complete games.
Those are the major league leaders
in 2024. Kevin Gausman, Max Fried, and Christopher Sanchez.
Okay, wow. Well, the way they handle pitcher, I mean, they have games now where there's not, they just use all relievers. They know nobody's going to throw a complete game. There's zero chance.
Yeah, it's kind of gone the way of the dinosaur.
Yeah. Koob, do you have one? Do you have a favorite?
I don't pick favorites.
Oh,
that's fair.
It's a good way of saying no, Reid.
It's a good way of saying no, Reid. Leave me alone, old man. Don't ever talk to me again. We appreciate that. Where is... Delgado leads in home runs by quite a bit, by about 50 over Bautista. I would have thought George Bell would have had more than 202 home runs with the Blue Jays. He's 6th.
What, Delgado had 336? He's the leader?
Yeah. Bautista had 288, and then Encarnacion had 239.
Encarnacion.
Yeah. Interesting era for the Blue Jays. We're going to talk more about them.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, Dave Steeb was very good. Abutsky put him in there. Bronco Nick referencing the Robbie Alomar catch the taste McCain punch. Remember those commercials?
Yeah, Tube Sock said earlier that Robbie Alomar was responsible for getting him addicted to McCain punch or whatever.
That's incredible. All right, speaking of Bronco Nick, I golfed with him yesterday. That was a lot of fun. I was with the Wolf. Papa Wolf, as I called him, and the Wolf's friend, Sean, was there as well. So that was my group. You were with Play Alberta folks?
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
They were fantastic.
Had you met them before?
No, hadn't. Didn't know what I was getting into. But they were awesome. We had a great day. They love EST. We love EST. And they were just enamored with what and who and how the day went. And just like VR Montenegro's group was in front of us. And I brought VR over because I told Play Alberta, I'm like, see that cart, that group? Like, that's like a good sample size of EST. Yeah. That's EST in a nutshell. And VR came over and we made an eagle putt and everybody celebrated. And it was fantastic.
Here's Bronco Nick's limerick. What a surprise at the EST Classic. Saw my group, made me enthusiastic. Had some fun, don't care who won. Golfing with Reid Wilkins was fantastic. Well, appreciate that, Bronco Nick. It was cool to golf with you as well.
Well, speaking of VR Montenegro, we might as well get his limerick here as well. Golfing with Play Alberta there will be no cheating. So Jay resorted to profane, swing-wrecking bleeding. You know that is not nice, and I fell victim twice. Once more would deliver a Tarnasky-esque beating. So I caught, the famous jackass from Happy Gilmore.
Oh, yeah.
When he yells it from the beach or wherever and ruins Happy Gilmore's, mojo.
Yeah.
I got VR twice. Really good.
Oh, my goodness.
Like right
Poor
in his
VR.
backswing. You jackass!
Such a nice man. All right. Fun chat on the Blue Jays who did lose today. They had their 10-game winning streak come to an end. Jordan Maximic, the offensive coordinator for Edmonton Elks, is coming up at 20 after 5. We'll have some laughs with Drew Remenda when we get back.
The Elks injury report after day one has David Beard limited with a calf injury, while Javon Leake and Robbie Smith did not practice. Leake with a quad ailment, while Smith sat out with an elbow injury. And the Jays dropped a 2-1 game to the White Sox, closing out their series. Toronto's 10-game win streak being snapped. The Jays led 1-0 until the end of the fourth, allowing 2 runs from Chicago. Toronto opens a series against the Athletics tomorrow. And right now, 2 games are live. Phillies walloping the Giants 13-0 in the bottom of the ninth as the Rays are down 3-2 against the Tigers in the 5th inning. Other baseball action sees the Riverhawks in Bellingham to play the Bells in the second of their 3-game series. Edmonton losing 8-6 in their series opener yesterday. First pitch at 7:35. Riverhawks 2 games back of the Bells for top spot in the North Division. And Cactus Rats also play visiting Fort Mac fresh off a 5-2 loss to the Giants. Action gets going just after 7 o'clock. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years, their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can shop online at paramountflooring.ca. Drew Remenda is our next guest once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The EST Hangout.
There's a lot of people like, we got to go get this guy. And I'm like, I'll probably argue that the majority of those people forgot about him or didn't know anything about him. So it sounds like this kid's a player. I'm curious to see how he's going to do. I want to see him have success. I want to see that the Oilers hockey ops went and helped bolster this lineup. But I'm not ready to just be like, that's the guy.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Who's up for a prehistoric party? Your Edmonton Elks face the BC Lions this Sunday at 5 p.m. Back due to popular demand, this theme promises to be dynamite.
Featuring Dino Nuggets at concession, the adorable baby dinosaur crawl, and the return of the T-Rex Combine.
It's bigger and better than ever. The EE Prehistoric Party, presented by Payworks. Tickets start at just $20. Score yours before they go extinct at goelks.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Kayaks, bikes, camping gear? Make space for summer fun with Sentinel Storage. Spend more time on adventures with your outdoor gear and less time looking for them. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
All right, great to have you tuning in this afternoon. Ike Howard, your newest Edmonton Oiler, answered some questions over Zoom this morning. I asked him, what were these last few weeks like? There were a lot of trade rumors about you coming to Edmonton.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a unique time. I was back at school, training to go back. Obviously, I knew there was a possibility of a trade. I didn't want to put all my chips in one basket, obviously, and so I was here, just training, trying to be with the team and stuff and be grounded. And, I kind of found out of the blue a little bit last night, pretty much maybe an hour before everyone else. So it was a super cool moment. I knew, I met with Edmonton and, this was probably the spot I wanted to go. It just checks all my boxes. And I knew if there's somehow it could happen, I would absolutely love it. And, so when I found that out, I was just super pumped up and couldn't be happier.
All right, well, he's going to be expected to contribute here. It is time to make our weekly connection for Connect Belts. Simplify your life with Connect Belts. More than a good-looking belt, Connect offers a high-quality, no-holes belt. Whether you're on the course, in the office, or anywhere life takes you, Connect is the perfect fit belt you need to feel good. Get a Connect belt. Support a 100% Canadian-owned company, owned and operated by U of A alumni. Scan the QR code for a special EST 20% discount. That is you are on our YouTube feed. You can scan a QR code. Want to give them a Google. Connect is KNKT. Love what they did there. Knew nothing, kept trying. And our weekly connection. So Isaac Howard wants to go by Ike. Drew Remenda just wants to go by Drew. Hey, Drew, what's going on?
Knew nothing but kept trying. Very good. That's I'm going to.
Well, that's life, isn't it? That sums up life right there.
I love it. Absolutely. How are you, boys? Good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for coming on middle of July, eh? So much for getting the summer off from this show.
You know my busy schedule right now, Reid. It's amazing I was able to fit you in between going to the gym and cutting the lawn.
How much a lawn do you have? Ride or walk?
Oh, walk. My lines are perfect, and it's a corner lot, so I have quite a bit of grass. It's zen-like once you get out there and you look at the lines and how straight they are. Sometimes we go north-south, sometimes we go east-west, sometimes we go diagonal. But it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And I actually put to shame pretty much everybody in the neighborhood.
Good for you.
Not that he's competitive or anything.
No.
Drew, you're speaking my language.
Really?
Because I'm I'm a Lonnie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we call freaks like you and I. We're Lonnies. And if you go on my Twitter, I don't know if you can even, I know you don't have socials, but on mine, I always post lawn updates from my front window showing my lines. I have a lot that's different as well. And straight lines sometimes we go a little crosshatch.
Yeah.
You got to like the old crosshatch now.
Yeah, I double cut. Yeah, that's what I call my double cut.
The double cut's reserved for a nice warm Sunday afternoon. You know, you got extra time, you go for the double cut. Now, Drew, I want to know, I'm a big par 3 guy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want those weeds. I don't want the clover. I don't want the dandelion. I don't want any of that taking away from my beautiful grass. Are you hand spraying? Are you spraying at all? Are you fertilizing? You know, what's your process in the fall and in the spring?
Well, number one, I don't handle any of that. That goes to the boss, and Michelle takes care of all of that. We have Weed Man, and then she gets out and picks the weeds like crazy. People have looked at me kind of funny when my wife is working as hard as she does on hot days in the garden and on the lawn. But we have our designations, and that's where it stands. And I feel no shame. She's stronger than I am, so there we go.
Everybody has their
Wait
roles.
a minute. You're known for your strength and your fitness.
Yep, but I got bad knees, man. I can't crouch down. Forget it.
Your knees are okay. Well, congratulations on mowing the lawn. Congratulations on working out this morning. We'll talk to you. Oh no, wait, we got more. We got more. Drew's like, that's why they had me on.
That's why. Talk more.
Actually, Drew would not be surprised with any stunt I pulled on air. With Jay, he might be a little bit. Okay,
we're getting.
No, I'm starting to get used to Jay too. I'm thinking Jay and I are starting to.
Yeah.
Well, no, and to tell everybody behind the scenes, Jay booked you for the show today.
Yes, I know.
I said, you know what? You need to have these people's phone numbers. You need to, because it helps sometimes. You're different because you and I are buddies, and now you're buddies with Jay. But a lot of times you want to say to somebody, hey, you know, this happened. We think this is why we think you're the person. With you, we're just like,
there's
nothing
else.
On and joke around.
We just want to chat. Yeah.
Everybody else is on vacation, so let's just get Remenda.
No. We want to catch up.
Everybody's in Kelowna. Drew's in Saskatoon. Okay, I'll tell a quick story. Do you remember Danny Dubé, Drew?
Of course I do.
Habs guy?
Yeah, of course I do.
I don't know if he does the games anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did those 2 years on Oilers Now, producing for Bob. And Bob was like, book, you know, it was around this time of year. And Bob's like, ask Danny Dubé, just say any day this week, can you do the show? We're talking about the Habs off season and the draft. Yeah. And Daddy writes back, hey, Reid, would love to do your show. Always fun to talk with Bob. So you read those sentences and you're like, oh, great.
Great.
I'm available after September 3rd. Get in touch then. And it was like second week of July, like now. Because some people are, and I told Jay that today. I said, like, you know, Drew's a little different, but we still got to respect his time. But I said, in the summer, we will get replies. Talk to you in September.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, lots of people do. Forget it. It's over. Yeah.
Anyway, we talked to you after the Oilers lost. Let's start with Mangiapane. I think that's an interesting signing. What do you think of that?
I like the signing. I think it's a strong signing. I think it's a guy who still can contribute, a guy you can move up and down the lineup. He's got skill. He's a good skater, still in good shape. I think Andrew Mangiapane was a very good signing by the Oilers. When you look at what was available, what was out there, you've got a good, solid, dependable NHL vet. And you need that, as you guys know, just as well as anybody. You need those guys. I like Andrew. I think Andrew was a player. He's honest in his effort. He's honest in the way he plays the game. Can put the puck in the net. We'll go to the net. We'll go to those areas where you have to score. And I think it's a very good signing.
Yeah, I'm encouraged about that as well. Like I'm comfortable to saying he can get in hopefully at least the high teens in goals, which they're going to need.
Agreed.
I want to, and maybe with Ike Howard, because for me, it's a bit more of a theoretical discussion because I'm not sitting there watching Big Ten hockey during the season, of course. But I made the point in a previous segment that if you look at the last 10 or 11 Hobey Baker winners, starting with, the late Johnny Gaudreau, it's a pretty good run except for a couple of guys. So that's evidence to me. And look, like in 1988, if somebody said, "Oh, this guy won the Hobey Baker," you'd say, "Well, what? Who's he playing against?"
Yeah,
that's my perspective. But I know you talk. Is this a safe bet? Do you think to bring in a guy like Ike Howard?
I watch a lot of college hockey in the States when I'm there, and during the season, I have been a convert to NCAA hockey versus CHL hockey. I will take those guys any day of the week because they play a bigger. Now, and people are going to go, "What are you talking about?" I'm telling you, you watch NCAA hockey, you watch men's Division I, and it's a big man's game. It's a heavy game to play. They don't have the fights and everything else like they do in the CHL. But what I like about the hockey and I like about the players is that they play 2 games a week. They work out and they practice. They get a lot of development, a ton of development work. They are more mature when they come out of college than, say, a CHL player. Now, of course, the CHL has sent to the National Hockey League a plethora, a legendary list of great, great players. But now when you look at the U.S. development program and you look at the NCAA program and the coaching and the players and their abilities now, the NCAA players, I love them. The Sharks have been very fortunate with a bunch of guys from the NCAA. Most of the management is made up of Boston University or Boston College guys. But when I look at Celebrini and Smith last year and Henry Thrun and the guys that have come out of college and played for the Sharks, I am very impressed with their maturity approaching the game, their maturity in the game, and the speed at which they play. So I think Isaac Howard, when you look at his numbers, what do you have, 56 points?
Yeah, 26, 26, 52.
26.
Yeah, equal goals and assists, yeah.
Phenomenal. And he is a talented guy. It was interesting when you look at what Brisebois said, Julien Brisebois said about him, is that he was very honest in his conversations. He declared he was going to go back to college, and they had a very honest conversation. Honestly, that conversation was probably what you asked him, Reid, was he felt the Oilers were a good fit for him. He didn't look at Tampa as being the right fit for him. So he was able to make his decision and get some support. And I think it's a good sign. I think it's a good idea to bring this kid in. This kid can play hockey. He's not very big, 5'11", but it's a big man's game nowadays. But he looks like he's a hockey player. I watched 2 games of his this year, and he's got some skills.
Yeah, I think it's a good signing, and he's going to have to pay off.
Yeah.
If not this year, certainly 2-3 years down the road. Drew Remenda joining us on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. So last week, Jay was off, so I actually had to prepare. I did. The Oilers scored 259 goals last year. So I kind of did a very far too early projection for the upcoming season. And I kind of grouped Hyman, Nuge, Draisaitl, McDavid together, and I think I got to 130. I think I gave Frederick 15, Mangiapane 15, probably Bush around, and then I think I had Bush 15, rest of the defensemen around 25 or 30. And I got to 200 goals. Now, I didn't assign Savoy I didn't really. I put Janmark in this big group of Podkolzin and kind of these other forwards. And let's face it, the Oilers were only 11th in goal scoring last year. Usually they've been in the top 10 or top 5. So I still wonder, where do these other 60 goals come from if they're going to be just above average in terms of scoring goals? Now maybe Savoy or Howard or somebody like that grabs it. But I know there's so much talk about defending and goaltending on this team. I'm looking at them 70 days before the start of camp, which I know is too early, and still saying there's in my mind, a significant goal deficit from what they reached last year.
Maybe, but will it matter? I'm going back to what you just said about defending matters. And the one common misconception about pretty much everybody involved in hockey is that you have to play defense only in your zone. You don't. The idea is, when you look at the Florida Panthers, is the way that they play defense is that they get on the forecheck, and as soon as they lose the puck, they attack back. And for the most part, the Oilers did that too throughout the entire playoffs. Is their trackbacks and their neutral zone play got way, way better as the series that they played in wore on, especially when you look at that Dallas series, and then even if you look at that after they lost the first couple of games against the LA Kings, that their neutral zone play was extremely good. As far as goal scoring, I don't know, like it's about goals this time of the season, and also about in the free agency talk, to me, is always so overblown and overhyped by us sports media types, and even sometimes the National Hockey League and the teams themselves, because let's go back to last year. Who was the team last year in the free agency that did what we thought, or at least I thought, was going to be the team?
My Stanley Cup pick, the Nashville Predators.
Nashville Predators, exactly. Right. And why wouldn't you? Brady Shea, Marcia Show, Stamkos, they had O'Reilly, they've got Gustav Nyquist, Roman Josi, UC Soros. Why would you not think that team was going to be, and everybody said, Edge Analytics said their window reopened to win the Stanley Cup. You got to play the games. As Tony Dungy said, that's why we play the games. So when you look at that, the way that the teams are going to shake out and how many goals are going to score, it's almost impossible. I like the exercise, but your power play gets hot. Your power play gets rolling. Your penalty kill all of a sudden shuts teams down. Your goalie starts having the year that you hope he's going to have. Who knows how you're going to win the games? Scoring goals, though, if you've got Leon Draisaitl, you have got Connor McDavid, you've got Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, you have got Zach Hyman, I wouldn't worry that much.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, it's first week of July. I need something to worry about.
I understand. I understand.
People expect me to be a little bit miserable, at least sometimes.
You say sometimes?
Yeah. Whoa. All right. You guys have any more lawn care tips to share, or
aeration? Aeration.
Yeah, we got people for that.
Yeah.
I'm the cosmetologist for the lawn. I think I look at it like I'm the makeup artist. I would look at my lawn designation. I don't put the heavy work in, Jay, as you probably already realized, being me being a sports broadcaster, is that you have to. I'm just the cosmetologist. I just put the finishing touch to make that movie star just a little bit more beautiful.
Drew, I got news for you. My wife is very similar to your situation there. She carries the water. I just apply the lipstick, later down the road.
Exactly.
So I think we're in similar situations. She's a Lonnie extraordinaire. So after on this break, I'm gonna send you a picture of my lawn from my most recent work.
Yeah,
please do, and
hey, feel free to trade them back and forth. We can send each other Lonnies.
That'll be it. Jay,
we'll see.
Reid, now you can just tell Jay to call me anytime to come on the show.
Yeah,
see, we've got that now. We've got that connection.
Only I will now be able to book Drew Remenda.
I can't book Drew anymore, and I have neither a wife nor a lawn. When we were first getting to know each other, Jay picked me up at my house. I got a townhouse, Drew. And he goes, oh, so what kind of a yard you got in the back? I'm like, it's the sidewalk to the apartment building. So I had nothing to worry about. All right, Drew, you're the best. Enjoy the big Ryder Stamps game.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited. You know me. I'm very excited about 3-down football.
And we'll try not to bug you for a few weeks, but you never know. You're the best, man.
Okay, man. Good talking to you guys.
Drew Remenda checking in. We don't even introduce. He covers the Sharks, but watches the Oilers. Knows a lot about lawn care, and we like him, so it's fun. And Jay and I are in the banquet studio. I love reading this one. I heard you reading this one. Avocado and feta dip, passion fruit cheesecake, and cocktails that taste like summer in a glass. Try the new feature menu at the banquet. Refreshing, craveable, and made for sunny days. The banquet. Get real, play hard. Oh, someone's phoning me.
Answer it on air.
We're in the banquet studio. We love Drew. And by the way, the Connect belts.
Yeah.
We each have one. We wear them. They're super comfortable. That's everything we have in that live read. That's bang on. U of A alum. Busted their butts. Busted their waistlines to get these belts. I know Coob had the Q. Oh, he's got the QR code up again. You can just scan that with your phone and find out more.
Yep. We're gonna get those guys on the Hangout too, because they're wonderful people. You'll just hear more about their story and how they got to where they are, and it's a great story, great people.
Yeah, and we love the local success stories. In 20 minutes, we got Jordan Maximic, offensive coordinator for your Edmonton Elks. Oh, and speaking of local success stories, here's the Coop.
2 guys and a goalie.
You've heard GM Dan Bowman say this year that there's been a particular focus to go in-house with some of the positions that are available this year. He's hoping Matt Savoy can do some. Noah Phil, I believe there's the balls in his court to earn a spot onto this roster.
To have him there.
Yeah, there's definitely opportunities for growth from within inside the organization.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Win a trip to Osheaga with the Banquet in Aperol. We're sending one lucky guest to Montreal with flights, hotel, and 2 tickets to one of Canada's hottest music festivals. Enter by July 26th. Details in store or on the Banquet app. Get real. Play hard.
You know Dawn. Everyone knows Dawn. Dawn from
Frontier Cartage. That's right, it's me, Dawn from Frontier Cartage, where we're setting the standard for cartage service in Edmonton and beyond, offering city cartage, Alberta highway, short haul deck, and more. My team and I are bringing our years of industry experience and expertise to every mile.
Join Dawn and her boys in a new chapter in transportation excellence, dedicated to exceptional service. Call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Day 1 wrapped up for the Elks with their injury report having Javon Leake and Robbie Smith missing practice while David Beard returned limited with a calf injury. Leake for a quad issue, Smith with an elbow ailment, and only one game is live in baseball, bottom of the 6th. It's 6-3 for the Rays over top of the Tigers, while the Mariners and the Yankees are warming up. Rockies and Red Sox also get set to have a date, while the Marlins and Reds go at it in just a moment. Out west, it's the Riverhawks battling the Bells in the North Division. Edmonton, 2 games back of Bellingham in the division, who won the series opener 8-6 yesterday. First pitch goes just after 7:30, and Cactus Rats then visit the Fort Mac Giants Energy City, dropping a 5-2 decision last night. Action gets going at 7:05. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The third and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon along with Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins. Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Zachary Kubish is here as well. Again, thanks to Murray McCourt, everybody at the ranch for an incredible EST second annual golf classic yesterday. Our Chief Operating Officer, Matthew Awanek, an amazing job organizing it. Just a great, great day. And we have the new, what did I want to call it? We got a new fund.
EST Gives Back.
EST Gives Back. So we had a 50-50 for that. It was just an awesome day. The Oilers have acquired Ike Howard for Sam O'Reilly. Howard had this to say about the trade to the Oilers.
Yeah, I'm super psyched. It's such an unreal opportunity. I'm grateful that Tampa was able to make this done. And I can't wait to get started, and definitely such a cool place, and couldn't be happier.
All right. We will have Elks offensive coordinator Jordan Maximic in about 15 minutes. Elks home to the Lions on Sunday. So you and Awanek have the Green and Gold kickoff show, at 4?
Yeah.
And then the post-game show right after the game. So we have you covered for that. Still Hello Hockey going Saturday at 10. VIP Golf Show Sunday at 8. Goob, you're in for
Correct.
that with Murray and Curtis?
Yes.
Okay, awesome stuff. So we got incredible programming here on EST. So Jay and I were talking earlier. I mean, the Blue Jays had won 10 in a row. They did lose this afternoon. Somebody's mad, because they taped the game.
Who?
Somebody will be mad at me for giving out the score.
Well, sorry.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, not sorry for talking about current events.
Yeah.
And I told the story. I'll just quickly recap about a buddy of mine who's a pretty big Blue Jays fan, and he was texting me about the Blue Jays last week when I think they'd won 7 in a row, and was mentioning some players, and I was like, I'm glad I got you, because really, I don't watch a lot of regular season baseball. There's a couple teams that I spent a lot of time following, and I said to Jay, Jay and I were talking, I said, the Blue Jays from the 80s and parts of the 90s, I could do a better job than naming more recent guys. So here's what we're going to do for Fired Up, because we're fired up about having some fun here.
Yeah.
Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 45 years. The authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. So what are you going to do here, Mr. Milne?
Well, I'm going to give you a name.
Okay.
And we're going to play the game called Is That Player or Was That Player a Blue Jay?
Okay.
Okay. So, and I didn't do it for all the years of Blue Jay. I gave it a years that they probably weren't the topic of conversation. So 2015 to 2020.
Well, they had a couple ALCS teams in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I
the last time
I wouldn't be committing this to my memory.
Okay.
Okay. So it named the Blue Jay, and then if it's not a Blue Jay, then
first you have to verify if you think yes it
Right.
was a Blue Jay or no.
Right.
And then if you're right, I'll give you yes, you're correct. This player was so and so. If no, we'll lead you to the direction of who this is.
I have to figure out their claim to fame. Okay.
Yes.
How many we should be done by 17.
Okay. That's
we
fine.
could carry some over to 540 if we need, I
if
guess.
we need to.
How many do you have total though?
8.
How many would you like to give me? Okay, that's
8.
good. Yeah, because there's no DH or a pitcher. I don't know.
Rafael Lopez. Was he a Blue Jay?
I'm going to say he was not a Blue Jay. He was. Okay. 0 for 1.
0 for 1. Yes, he was a catcher for the Blue Jays in 2017. He didn't play that. He had a 4-year career in the MLB. He played 24 games with the Blue Jays that year.
Okay, so he wasn't a regular.
Yeah.
Wasn't a star. Okay, but still, I was wrong.
But if you were following the team, or you would know.
I would have known,
right?
if I was more into it.
Okay. Peter Durand.
Peter Durand. Again, I'm going to say no. Okay, so now I got to figure out for what was Peter Durand known. So I get what, 5 or 6 questions to narrow it down.
Yeah, sure. This will be interesting.
We don't have time for 20 questions. We'll be here till Dusty will be like, "Why'd you guys stream until midnight?" Well, let me tell you, Dustin.
Name that Blue Jay.
We're still here in the morning when him and Eric get in. You're like, "Okay, Reid, no. Think more aerodynamics." Peter Durand. Okay, is it a scientific field?
No.
Is it an arts field?
No.
Okay. Is he a politician?
No.
Is he an athlete of another sort?
No.
Yeah, you got to give me an explicit hint then.
He was an inventor. So maybe a scientist.
So he invented something in the last decade?
No.
Oh, he was an inventor.
He's somebody.
1800s?
Yeah. 1810 to be exact.
1810, he invented something.
He was a British merchant.
Do you and I use it on a daily basis?
Not so much anymore, but if... how should I say this?
It's something we've used in our lifetimes.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
But it's not used as... Did he invent some sort of videotape?
Nope. It's a device used in the kitchen.
Did he invent a carrot peeler?
Ooh, close. No.
A potato peeler?
No. But that it's in that drawer.
So it's some sort of a utensil.
Yeah. Well, utility.
Can opener?
Yeah!
He invented the can opener. Peter Durand invented the can opener. So now when you're with your family tonight at dinner, you can not only quiz them on the words of the day, if they're using a can opener, be like, oh, Peter Durand invented that, 1810.
Yeah, now we're teaching.
A lot of book learning.
Leonel Fernandez.
I'm going to say he was a Blue Jay. That's wrong. Okay.
He was not.
So now I got to figure out Leonel Fernandez. Okay. Famous for something done in the 20th century. So the 1900s.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't have the era for that? Okay.
Let me see.
Well, now I'm thinking he's another inventor, but he wasn't.
He's not an inventor. It's more recent than that. It's in the 20th century. What he did.
No, wait a minute. Did I say what? Okay, it doesn't.
He was in politics. Politics
in Spain,
Dominican.
In the Dominican. Oh my goodness! Was he the first president or prime minister of the Dominican Republic?
Close. He was the 50th and 52nd president
2 times
of the Dominican Republic.
Oh, these are incredible. You know, as Leonel Fernandez once said, freedom for one should mean freedom for all. I don't know if he said that or not. All right, so I'm 0 for 3. I'm
He was
doing okay.
1996 to 2000 and 2004 to 2012. He was
a recent leader.
Yeah, so I guess the 21st century.
Some expert in Dominican politics is like, Reid. They're clucking their tongue at me.
Shame on you. Joe Biagini.
Oh, he was definitely a Blue Jay. Yeah, I remember that name. Because it sounds like, would you like to be a genie when you grow up?
Right. Yeah. Right-handed pitcher, played from 2016 to 2019. Fun fact, he played for Italy in the 2023 World Baseball Classic.
Oh, Papa Homer, you are so learned.
Learned, son. It's pronounced learned.
All right. This is incredible.
Lonnie Johnson.
I'm going to say Lonnie Johnson was a Blue Jay. Oh! So this is from 2015 to 2020, if people are wondering the era. Lonnie Johnson.
But not Lonnie Johnson. Lonnie Johnson was not from that era. He's still alive.
So he's famous for something else.
He's 75 years old.
He's 75 years old. Was he in the arts?
No.
Is he American?
Yes.
Okay. Was he a criminal?
No.
Is he in the science field?
Yes.
Okay. Astronomy?
Yeah. Ish.
No.
Ish. Maybe not.
Not quite astronomy, but something to do with... Did he do something inventing or working on a rocket or something like that?
Oh my gosh. He worked for NASA.
Okay. I'm good at narrowing these down, but you need something more specific. Did he work on the Hubble telescope?
No, but he was an inventor.
Oh, he also invented something for NASA.
Totally unrelated to NASA.
The Slinky.
No.
Oh, Play-Doh.
No.
Oh, crap. Is it a toy?
Yes.
What else? Because I saw something about the Slinky on social media recently. He worked for NASA and he invented some sort of a toy. So in the 1900s.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I don't know what other toys there are.
Think of a water fight.
He invented the water gun, the Super Soaker.
Yeah.
He invented the Super Soaker. Yeah. Lonnie Johnson invented the Super Soaker.
Mm-hmm.
I think I hear him coming now.
An American inventor, aerospace engineer, and entrepreneur, best known for inventing the best-selling Super Soaker water gun in 1989.
Oh my God, this is phenomenal. The Super Soaker wasn't invented until 89?
That's right.
Okay.
And he did it by mistake. He was trying to build something else. So there you go.
Oh, that's amazing.
Michael Saunders.
Michael Saunders was a Blue Jay.
He was. Well done.
I'm on fire.
In the 2016 season, he played 140 games. He was a Canadian outfielder hailing from Victoria, BC.
All right. We got time for two more here before we call Jordan.
Jorge Reynolds Pombo.
I will say not a Blue Jay. Jorge Reynolds Pombo.
Bogota, Colombia.
He's a Colombian? Was he involved in the drug trade?
He was not. Surprisingly.
Was it related to that?
No.
Is he an athlete?
No.
Okay. Is he a politician?
No.
Science?
Yes.
Another science field.
Medical science.
From Colombia. Something he did in the 1900s?
1958.
Did he invent some sort of vaccine or treatment?
Treatment, maybe you could say this. Yeah, you could say this is a treatment.
Okay, for a disease.
For your heart.
Oh, he invented, did he come up with like a, what are they called? A stint, or what's it called? A stent or a stint?
Not a stent, but an external pacemaker.
He came up with the external pacemaker.
Yeah. Run off a 12-volt battery. It was first used on a patient in 1958.
Jorge Reynolds Pombo? How do you spell Pombo?
Pombo.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was attributed with like kicking off the I guess what became the internal pacemaker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got 4 out of 7 correct. Was he a Blue Jay between 2015 and 2020? That's what we're playing.
Luis Rivera.
I will say yes, he was a Blue Jay. Okay. That's such a baseball name.
Yeah, I know.
You really got me there. Luis Rivera.
Lived from 1859 to 1916. He was Puerto Rican.
Music?
Negative.
Politics?
Yes, sir.
Puerto Rico. Was he responsible for Puerto Rico becoming a protectorate of the United States or whatever it's called?
Well, oh my gosh. There is a Luis Rivera coach, manager, in baseball.
But he didn't play for the Blue Jays in that era.
Okay. He was the he was the leader of the newly formed autonomous party.
Oh, of course, yes, of course, yes.
Course. How could we?
How could I forget?
How could we not get
Luis
that?
Rivera? Well, I got 4 out of 8, and I'm quite happy that we've put out in the world.
Well, we found out a lot. We found out Lonnie Johnson invented the
did you see what Brett B just put in the chat?
Jeez. What are the odds of that? Reid, honestly, when I was looking for this, I put into Google Puerto Rican like politicians, famous politicians.
I love how you came up with this. You worked hard on this.
I
sat
can't
there and did
believe
nothing
that,
all
Brett.
day, everybody. So we learned that Peter Durand invented the can opener. That's significant.
Mm-hmm.
And Lonnie Johnson invented the Super Soaker. Those are the ones that I will remember the most.
Yeah, sure. We'll give you a half point for Luis Rivera because apparently
he was
a Blue
Jays coach during that period. Brett B, thank you for that. Well, that was
did
fun.
better
We'll
than-
have to come up with more funny, can Reid figure something out?
Yeah,
the answer is no, but how badly will Reid
we
fail?
could even do name that person, and I could come up with clues.
We're going to do Name the Animal tomorrow.
I love naming things.
Did you get to hear the exhibition schedule for Name the Animal last week?
I was listening. So get this. We're in Sycamoose. We're in a store. My wife's shopping with the girls. It's a really boutique-y store, so sure. So I'm like, Kate, I'm going to be outside on the patio.
Okay.
They had a little deck there. So I turned on the show, and you guys were just starting it, and I heard the animal. It was a baby something. A baby what?
Cheetah that sounded like a bird.
Yeah.
They chirp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you do a second one?
Yeah, there was a second one there. Oh, what was the second one? Do you remember, Reid?
The giraffe. It was a giraffe.
Yeah.
What sound does a giraffe make?
I thought it might be a whale at first. That sort of little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, during the night.
So
yeah.
we're doing this tomorrow?
tomorrow.
Because you're away Friday. We must name the animal. By the way, we're in the Banquet studio. Craving a late night snack? Check out the Banquet's new late night happy hour menu, Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. until close. Enjoy favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or the Banquet burger at happy hour prices. The Banquet, get real, play hard. The Elks got real, finally getting a win on Sunday. Can they make it to this coming Sunday? We'll talk to offensive coordinator Jordan Maximic when we get back.
Day one of the Elks injury report. David Beard, Javon Leake, and Robbie Smith out of practice. Well, Beard limited with a calf injury returning to practice. Smith out with an elbow injury, while Leake had a quad ailment. And in baseball, 4 games are live, 3 games in the top of the first, all runless as the Yankees battle the Mariners. Rockies face the Reds, while the Marlins and Reds duke it out. Elsewhere, the Rays and Tigers are in the bottom of the 7th. Tampa Bay leading 7-3. From Washington, it's the Riverhawks playing the Bells in Bellingham, fresh off an 8-6 loss yesterday to kick off their 3-game series. Bellingham, first in the North Division, 21-13 on the season. Edmonton sits 2 games back, playing 4 less games. Energy City is then in action in Fort Mac just after 7 o'clock. Cactus Rats dropping a 5-2 decision to the Giants yesterday. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. Jordan Maximic, OC of the Elks, joins us on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The Oil Stream.
I look at it as like, I would describe, to me, it's a bit of a gamble because you're rolling the dice, hoping it speeds up the process.
Yeah.
You get a guy who's more ready and has that offensive
So you're
punch.
thinking it's a bit of a gamble for what the team is hoping to accomplish this year? Like taking a guy with no experience and basically slotting him into the top 6 on a championship caliber club?
Yeah, sure.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Avocado and feta dip, passion fruit cheesecake, and cocktails that taste like summer in a glass. Try the new feature menu at The Banquet. Refreshing, craveable, and made for sunny days. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it. Kayaks, bikes, camping gear? Make space for summer fun with Sentinel Storage. Spend more time on adventures with your outdoor gear and less time looking for them. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
Well, we hope you're having as much fun listening to the show or watching it on YouTube as we do, presenting the show along with Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins. We need 2 clicks of the thumbs up button on YouTube to get over 100, which is the minimum goal we want to reach every day. So if you haven't clicked, give us a thumb up or share the show link with somebody else and say, hey, check these guys out and give them a thumb. You can text us at 780-218-9999. That's the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. A lot of thumbs for the Edmonton Elks this past Sunday as they got their first win of the season, and they're trying for another one this coming Sunday against the BC Lions. We're pleased to be joined by the offensive coordinator for the Green and Gold. It is Jordan Maximic. Jordan, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
Doing good, thanks. How are you guys?
We are doing great. Jordan, you got Jay here. Hey, I just wanted to see how things have been going this week. Obviously, a big win. I don't need to tell you. It was a win, for the first time in July in quite a while. The city's excited. I know their team's excited. We had Justin Rankin on Monday, and he was, mentioned that the team seemed to be elated, and that's all great. But now you're back. You're back up against BC upcoming Sunday. You're hosting them down at Commonwealth. I just wanted to ask you about Trey Ford and his progression, because I've said it since week one and throughout the games you have played that offense has been improving week over week. And I would just like to ask you, how do you see Trey Ford's progression going, and where do you see it heading?
Yeah, I mean, we feel the same way in-house, that week after week, we've been taking steps and we've been improving every single week. I mean, you get a little sick and tired of saying it as a coach, and I know the players get a little sick and tired of hearing it when you're 0-3 and you just kind of say, we got to trust the process. The results will come. We're improving and everything. So it was nice to get a result in our favor on Sunday and have all that hard work pay off. And I would say the same thing for Trey. And really it dates all the way back to training camp. Every practice, every game, every time he's gone out there, he's gotten better within the offense. So he's working his tail off to learn the offense, and so much of it is just physical reps out on the field that he has to get, and that takes time to get. So he's worked his way through training camp in this first month of the season, steadily improving. Every time he's gone out in our 4 games, I feel like we all feel a little bit better about his performance each and every single week. So as long as that trajectory keeps in that direction and his arrow keeps pointing up, I see good things in the future.
Hard to argue with the guy that had a perfect, efficiency rating, right? So,
right.
I want to ask you about a specific play, Jordan. This was the 74-yard touchdown run by Justin Rankin. It was 2nd and 3rd. It was on your own 36. I suggested on our post-game show that you knew that they were going to be in a blitz situation and that there's a possibility you could catch them in a blitz with moving pieces on the offensive line and, as you know, find a seam and maybe hit a home run. Mm-hmm. Jordan, what was the thought process up to calling that play, and did you figure that you'd catch BC in a blitz?
Yeah, similar thought process to what you said. That situation, we were anticipating a lot of man coverage. So we knew if we moved some of our pieces around in terms of our receivers and stuff like that we would get people in their back end moving around. And if we were able to crease it up front and get through that 1st and 2nd level, that there would be nobody left in the 3rd level to make a tackle. So that was the idea. Full credit goes to Coach Sorrells, our line coach and run game coordinator for designing that play in our short yardage situation. And obviously the guys up front, bringing it to life. And quite honestly, we take pride in our run game of all 12 guys getting involved. And it's not just the guys up front, it's the receivers on the perimeter blocking. And that was a clinic tape on how we want our run game to look, and everybody fitting up, and a hat on a hat, and a huge crease for Rank to go through. And like I just said, he creased that 1st and 2nd level untouched. They were a little bit out of place in the secondary when he got to the 3rd level, and he turned on the jets, and the rest is history.
I wanted to ask you as well, because I mean, I spoke with you at a practice after the week 1 loss to BC, and I asked you specifically about the run game and how much more of a role that will play in your offense. But look, I mean, tell our listeners and give us a little bit of insight, if you wouldn't mind, into how you've grown just with this team, because every team's different. Every team has different angles and different pieces. How have you grown with your play calling from week one to where you're at now?
Yeah, I mean, I think I pride myself and our offensive staff as a whole kind of prides ourselves on looking at each week as in kind of a vacuum on its own and just doing what we need to do in that specific week in order to win the football game. So that's measuring our strengths against the defense's weaknesses and that kind of stuff. And so that's kind of how we game plan. And so there's been a lot of learning, and there's still a lot of learning to go in terms of what we're good at from a scheme perspective, what our players do best, what personnel, when a specific personnel is on the field, what kind of plays we should be dialing up and stuff like that. So that's a kind of a never ending process, but I'm certainly learning every week with this group of coaches and this group of players. And like I said, just doing my best and doing our best as a coaching staff to put us in a situation where we can score the most points, be it on the ground, through the air, whatever it looks like in a given week.
With the, it was talked about quite a bit. I'm sure you were aware of the quarterback change and inserting Cody Fajardo at certain times. Is that something that's going to continue in a game plan, or is that you'll have to wait and see, Jay?
Yeah, no, that's definitely a wait and see. That was something that we just talked about specific to last week in Ottawa, and just getting a situation where number one, we can put a guy out there that we trust in Cody to move the ball and operate the offense and kind of keep him involved, keep him in the game, and keep him with some live reps, while at the same time allowing Trey to take a step back and look at the offensive operation, look at the defense from the sideline for a drive or two, and see what he can gather from that. So the debrief on that kind of continues here in these next few days, and Killam and I will come up with a plan along with the quarterbacks as far as how that's going to move forward.
I wanted just one last one here for you. Elks offensive coordinator Jordan Maximic joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to hop on with us, Jordan. No, sure. I'm not sure if everybody would know that you're a local Edmontonian. I mean, you grew St. Albert, I suppose would be the proper way to say it. But you grew up in St. Albert. You went to Belrose High School. I believe your neighbor was Tom Higgins, and that's maybe what inspired you to get into coaching. But so I'd like you to comment on that a bit and how that started, but also what it means now to be returning to Edmonton. I know you've been here twice before, but this time it's in you're the offensive coordinator, and you've got a couple hot rods on that offense that you need to drive. So what does it mean? Right. Because I mean, when you were, in 03 and 05, when the then Eskimos won Grey Cups, you were in prime of your football careers. That was what you knew as, that was a powerhouse of a team. Now with this organization, as Chris Morris and Ed Hervey have said, they're trying to get back to those winning ways and that culture. So what does that mean for you coming back now as the offensive coordinator? And yeah, if you could touch on your earlier coaching years with Tom Higgins as your neighbor.
Yeah. So, born in Edmonton, raised in St. Albert, not immediate next door neighbors, but down the street, the Higgins family lived, and I was good friends with Thomas, Tom's son. And so just,
I played Bears with him, by the way. I played Bears football with him. So Tom Higgins was already always around there.
Yeah. So that's how I weaseled my way into a lot of Eskimo games and practices and training camps and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's absolutely how I caught the bug, the football bug, the coaching bug, all that. And then when Tom went down to Calgary, I was lucky enough that he gave me an opportunity to work a training camp there in 2007 in the equipment room, and one thing led to another, and I've been in pro football ever since. So he's absolutely the main factor of why I'm doing what I do now. But yeah, I grew up bleeding green and gold and sitting in the stands trying to catch mini footballs and following the Eskimos, knew every player on the roster, all that kind of stuff. So it absolutely means a tremendous amount. This is my third go around here, kind of in different positions, and every time I'm here, every time I put on a green and gold sweater, it just feels right. And I'm just like Chris and just like Ed and just like Kill, I'm just absolutely 100% committed to doing whatever we need to do to get this thing back on track.
Jordan, thanks for being so generous with your time. It's Reid. I just got one question for you to wrap it up. I love the scheming and the strategy of football and all the stuff that happens that fans can't see and or hear. So here's my question. What do you say to the quarterback, Trey Ford, most of the time this year, when you have that window to speak to him in the headset? Do you give a full play call? Do you give a number? Will you give little things like watch the safety? Like, I don't know. What do you say in that headset in the few seconds that you have?
Yeah, all of the above. It depends on the situation that we're in. So if we're operating in a normal part of the game, I'll usually just give them a wristband number. So all of our plays are on his wristband. So I'll say wristband 63. And then a lot of the times I'll kind of accompany that with a little bit of a coaching point, just a reminder on his footwork, a reminder about what we're looking for on the defense, maybe a reminder for him to tell a receiver in the huddle, stuff like that. So I'll usually try and sneak one of those little coaching points in there. And then if we're at an end of the half situation where we're no huddle, where we're on the ball and we got to go fast, then I'm giving him the whole play call in his ear. And he's doing his best to relay it to the rest of the group. And we're trying to operate as fast as possible in that situation. And obviously the communication system helps tremendously there.
Okay. Well, that's interesting to know. Maybe someday I want to really look at a quarterback's wristband, but they don't like when the media sees those. I would never say what's on there. Okay. Jordan, thanks for doing this. Great to get that first win. All the best coming up here against BC on Sunday. Thank you so much for making time for us.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
That is Jordan Maximic, the offensive coordinator for the Edmonton Elks. So I told you I wanted to ask that question.
Yeah.
I said, you'll ask better questions, but I said, I want to ask that. And you said to me, I know what he's going to say.
Yeah.
Did he say that?
Number. Yeah.
Okay.
Wristband 16.
But he might.
It's a flick.
Right.
But when it is hurry up, you're just, okay, Trey, get him on the line. You get 3 receivers left, 1 right, ace set, blankety blank, then you can play out the call or shout out the play call, because then Trey has to relay that to them.
Okay. But he might give other little things where.
That was interesting.
Who's the Lions guy? Alway? The good linebacker? Is he there now?
Well, it depends. I haven't seen the depth chart.
Okay, but he might say, so Milne, you're the safety.
Yeah.
So he might say, Trey, wristband 42, Milne's headhunting, watch out.
Yeah, or move Milne to the wide side with your eyes before you go back to the short side.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Little coaching points. Like
or
you
something
said.
or they might say, or just say wristband 42. So maybe that's a jump ball. And we're going to say, remember, Wilkins is the shortest guy on the field.
Right. Attack Wilkie.
Right. remember that incompetent DB we were talking about all week? He's in the game.
Yes.
So, I think they got to shut it off by 15.
It's not long. It's not. Yeah.
I should have asked them that. But I think it's either 15 or 10.
Before the play
transmission transmission terminated. All right. Sorry, were you looking something up?
No.
I lost my spot again.
That's okay.
Should start paying attention to the show.
Well.
Yeah. By the way, Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta. Make your bets count for you and everyone else with the Play Alberta app, with hundreds of player prop bets on the biggest leagues, NFL, CFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, you name it. And today we named Chuckwagon Racing, the Rangeland Derby, because that's Jay's play of the day. You're not just playing for fun, you're supporting your province. Play Alberta revenue helps fund Alberta programs and services. Promo code YEG50. Get an EST exclusive $50 free bet to get started. The other promo codes are the same as from last month. EST Casino, EST Sports. Now, you can only use them once per month on your account, right? But EST Casino, EST Sports, and you have to put in a minimum of $20, and then you get a $50 free bet.
do it.
Abutsky says, attack Wilkins, LOL. Well, that's what they would tell the other quarterback.
Oh, yeah. If you were on the field, they'd be run Wilkie.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be a number.
Then again, just a 51-year-old short guy with no football experience. That would just be a story in itself that I was even on the team.
We should go down there one day.
That'd be like if you won $1 billion and bought a football team and you just put all your friends on it.
That would be fun if we could show the people what it would look like and what it would sound like.
I'd be dead. This is what it would sound like. Doo-doo, 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 doo. That's what it would sound like.
No, I meant like getting a play called in by Jordan.
Sorry.
Because even in practice, right? He's not. He'll be using the walkie-talkie a lot as well. He won't just say, "Hey Trey, play 62."
Oh, they simulate stuff.
They simulate.
Right. So that's what I love. I just love that about football. And so, as you know, I've been lucky enough to interview Mookie Mitchell a few times. So he was a rookie when Flutie was there. And he said, you know how kids just draw it up in the huddle? He said Flutie would do that at some points in games. Like he just knew something would work and he would, I don't know if he would invent a play, but he would come up with a couple of variations. You know, he would just be like, hey, we're calling this, but Mookie, don't run the post, run a quick 4-yard out. Everybody else do this. Like it's a form of calling an audible, but he said Doug would, because he was very smart as well as being extremely talented, right?
In the older days, like not that long ago, quarterbacks
called the plays.
Called the play.
That's the thing to remember for all you young pups out there.
They didn't have somebody.
Offensive coordinator stuff was
it's pretty new.
No, it is relatively new in the history of football.
Like,
the quarterback was expected to call the game,
the entire game.
Yes, like even
like Warren.
Most
Moon,
of the '90s, I would think
Warren Moon would have been calling his plays.
Yes,
like
now there
100%.
would have been discussions with
or
your
game
coach,
plan,
right,
or in between,
and they would have known.
Yeah.
Sometimes a coach might send in a certain package, and the quarterback would know, oh, we have 4 plays with this package and they're all running plays.
Yep.
So we're running the ball. But somebody put Ricky Ray. I don't think Ricky Ray called his own plays. I think by then it was an OC. But I don't think Ricky would have had the headset. We usually have Ricky on once or twice a year. It
was like mid to late 90s when the headsets came in, like mid 95.
Yeah, because I don't think Ricky would have been calling his own plays.
Because when I was in university, the quarterbacks had headsets.
And now you can name a defensive captain.
Yes.
Because first it was just the quarterback, and then the defensive people were like, we're being discriminated against.
But most defensive units just look to their defensive coordinator, and it's usually a sign-in, and then everybody knows what's going on. It's not as...
Well, remember when Hecht was here, and he was just like, yeah, we would just be told, like, gold.
Yeah. Well, there'd be like three terms, and one of them would be gold, which was the defensive back coverage.
Okay.
Whether it's man or zone or zero or whatever. We should get Hecht on again. He was great.
Yeah, we should bring him in. He was fun. What's his house service again? The inspector.
And Hecht is in it. Inspector Jeff.
Yeah.
He inspects homes. Hit him up. 3. How many times did he win a Grey Cup? 2 or 3? Or 1 with Winnipeg.
Did he get the first one with Winnipeg? I thought he might have got one early. Did he get one with Calgary too? I can't remember.
Now you're thinking the real J-Law who doesn't talk about
the Calgary one. He prefers not to. Well, he was on the practice roster. I mean, that would be a different experience.
Yeah, he was a Grey Cup champ with Calgary. You were right. That was his first one. And then in his last year with the Bombers, his last year playing pro was Grey Cup in 2019.
Okay. And was he a St. Albert guy originally too?
Former Edmonton Wildcat.
But where was his high school? Do we remember? Or was he one of the
he was from out of town.
Okay.
He wasn't from the Edmonton area.
Yeah, we'll bring him again. He's good. And he does not think highly of the intelligence of offensive players. That's the one thing I remember from that. Except quarterbacks, he
is from Edmonton.
Yeah, okay. He tolerates quarterbacks. But he didn't like some of the other guys.
Yeah, he is a wealth of knowledge as far as football vernacular. Like he's got it all.
No, but he'd be younger than you by a little bit.
Yep.
So he was wild, and then did he go to school?
St. Mary's
out east. Right.
He went from the Wildcats to St. Mary's.
Okay. Yeah, he's good to talk to.
Yeah, great guy.
All right. 780-218-9999 is how you text us. That's the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. Ace says Wilkinson called his own plays. Yeah, he was from that year as well. One of my most memorable interviews that I've done in my career was one night. This was probably 10 years ago, maybe even more. Tom Wilkinson and Heck Pothier came into studio and did an hour on Inside Sports.
Oh, boy.
It was amazing.
Hector Pothier is a very well-spoken guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, hasn't he been wasn't he a principal in Edmonton?
Yeah, he might be retired now. And he was involved with the youth basketball, minor basketball. But he and Heck Pothier and Tom Wilkinson for an hour just talking football. Like I was in my glory.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Wilkinson kept saying every offensive lineman who played on those 5-in-a-row teams, he goes, should be in the offensive line. He's like, most of the quarterbacks, running backs,
should be in the Hall of Fame.
Receivers are the CFL Hall of Fame. He's like, why are not all the line? I think some are, but
did he have a big chew cup, Wilkie?
He did not. No, he didn't.
His office.
He's still got a pretty good beard, though.
Yeah. Wilkie was. I was there the year after Wilkie left the U of A, but apparently his office would always be littered with dip cups.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
All right, 5:45. We're having a great show. We got word of the day coming up. Here comes the Coop.
The Elks injury report had David Beard limited with a calf injury as he returned to practice on day one, while Javon Leake and Robbie Smith did not practice. Leake with a quad ailment, while Smith sat out with an elbow injury. And MLB action has 4 games live. One in the bottom of the second, Reds up 3-0 over the Marlins, while entering the third, the Mariners trail the Yankees 3-0. And also, in the top of the third, Red Sox up 1-0 on the Rockies. We also see a game in the top of the ninth inning. Tigers down 7-3 to the Tampa Bay Rays. Other baseball action sees the Riverhawks in Bellingham to play the Bells in the second of their 3-game series. Edmonton losing 8-6 in their series opener yesterday. First pitch at 7:35. Having the Riverhawks 2 games back of the Bells for top spot in the North Division. Cactus Rats are also in action, visiting Fort Mac, fresh off a 5-2 loss to the Giants in their series opener yesterday. Action gets going just after 7 o'clock. The words of the day brings us back on the other side of the break here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
EST Afternoons.
Tim Haraney, F1 IndyCar Insider, Horner's out. Where did it all go wrong here with Red Bull?
Big part of this sounds like performance-based. I wouldn't think it was anything else outside of that because, he was allowed into the factory to say goodbye to everybody. It is strange. It caught everyone off guard. Like nobody knew about this, not even Horner.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you can afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Ike Howard, your newest member of the Edmonton Oilers, acquired in a trade last night for Sam O'Reilly, so a swap of a couple of late-round, first-round picks between the Oilers and the Lightning. Ike Howard reflecting on his time at Michigan State.
Grateful. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't be more grateful for this place. I had 2 of my best years here. I think what this school and, coaching staff, everyone just has such high class, and I think they've helped me a lot as a person outside the arena, and I think that's helped me on the ice. I focus a lot on play away from the puck and defensive stuff with Nightingale and all the other coaches, and I think they're world class. They preach development first, and I think if you can buy in, you're going to get the most out of this place. And I think it's worked for me, and I couldn't be more grateful.
And Howard also commenting that he's the kind of guy who likes to keep it light.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like to have fun at times, and just be myself, and make light in some situations and stuff. And at the same time, I think I'm a super serious guy. Hockey driven. Works really hard, kind of willing to do whatever to help the team. I think it's a healthy blend, and bringing good energy, being upbeat, and, like I said, that can rub off on guys, and, you always want to have good vibes in locker rooms and on the ice and stuff like that. So, just try to do all that.
All right. Craig Button was on the Nielsen show. He's a big fan of this acquisition, the Hobey Baker Award winner, best hockey player in the NCAA this past season. All right. It's 5:50. Let's do it. Word of the day.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
All right.
First word of the day, cantankerous.
Oh, cantankerous.
Cantankerous.
Well, why is my phone talking to you? Shut up, phone. Hey, Alexa, shut up. Cantankerous. Cantankerous.
Oh, sorry. That's wrong.
No, cantankerous would mean sort of miserable and crotchety, I believe. Sort of like, I could use it in a sentence. Jay and Reid were nervous about trying to retrieve their Nerf ball from cantankerous Zachary Kubish's yard. That wasn't a very good example.
A cantankerous person is often angry and annoyed. And the way they use it in the sentence, although the former postman was regarded by some townspeople as a scowling, cantankerous old coot, he was beloved by neighborhood children to whom he would regularly hand out butterscotch candies from his front stoop.
So angry and annoyed. And what did I say? Crotchety and miserable?
Yeah, what's the difference?
Sort of pretty. I knew the general meaning of it. All right, pretty good.
Okay.
Well, now your phone's making noises too.
No, that was my laptop. Second word of the day, simulacrum. Simulacrum.
Oh. SIMULACRUM.
Oh, why am I doing it?
Because you're so used to me getting it wrong and hitting the tuba. Okay, I believe. Okay, simulacrum. I think it is some sort of a simulation, but not along the lines of the holodeck. I think a simulacrum is some sort of it's sort of like something you would do to practice something. Like maybe we would build a miniature version of a bank to see how our robbery would go. That would be a simulacrum of the bank robbery. No? Okay. Can you do a sentence?
Yep. The surprise still succeeded thanks to the simulacrum of confusion expressed by two guests when they were spotted before the big moment. Thanks to the simulacrum of confusion expressed by two guests.
It's someone pretending to have a certain emotion?
Yeah, I'll give you that. We'll see. We'll see what the judge says. A simulacrum is a superficial likeness of something, usually as an imitation, copy, or representation.
See that? Yeah, that's what I was. Okay, but I didn't think it was exactly like. But it is something that pretends to be something else.
Yeah, imitation. Or, thanks to the simulacrum of confusion expressed by the two guests.
Oh, right.
They didn't spoil the surprise.
Okay. All right.
Maybe
so
acting.
I get a partial point, maybe. I got the spellings bang on, though.
Yeah, so
I got cantankerous.
I'm going to give
pretty
you
much bang on.
2.05 out of 4, just to push you over the 50% edge.
Well, no, but I got cantankerous.
I'm going to give you 3.05 out of 4.
Thank you, Jay. Oh, well, this show was a cantankerous simulacrum of joy. Does that make sense at all? It doesn't.
Probably not.
So tomorrow we will have our Past the Pantry Athlete of the Week. We will have Name the Animal. First time we're going to do it together. We're working on a couple other guests. We're going to have laughs. It'll be wonderful, Jay. Be good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, Coop, great work, buddy. Yeah, he's tuning me out already. He's like, I don't have to listen to Reid after 5:55. On behalf of Zachary Kubish and Jason Milne, I'm Reid. Have a great evening.